Mattel Electronics presents the Intellivision Gamer.
What is going on, guys? Intellivision Gamer here, and welcome to episode 55 of the Intellivision Show. Man, that goes by fast. I cannot believe I have done that many shows, and some of the early ones especially were like 3.5 hours long. It's insane. We have something that I think is pretty cool for you guys this week. We are going to do, I've been talking about doing a top 10 video, and I was going over shows to do, and I'm like, you know what? I can make this a show, have guests on. So we're going to have a really cool top-notch panel on for this one. We're going to go over our top 10s, 10 to 1. We're each going to play, or most of us are going to play a few games just to give you a little bit of a sample. We're going to have some discussion on it and chat with you guys. And after that, a few people are going to take off. We also have a video from Retro Bliss Gaming. He sent in his top 10, and I have two to read, Rick Weidman and Roger, Psycho Stormtrooper. So we're also going to, after the main part of the top 10, we're going to go over the news. We got some cool pickups, some rare stuff. And I'm not just talking about the big one that a lot of you guys have heard about. I've got some other rare stuff that came a little before that. We're going to have an updated play test of Mr. Do for a few minutes. And I'm going to go live another day, really getting into that and talking about the changes. I'm excited to do that. I've actually got two versions in 2 days. So, also, if you're new, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, AtariAge. I have the for the Retro Gamer channel, which we got some news for that coming up. All those links are in the description if you want to check any of it out or go participate. Let's go ahead and welcome everyone in chat, and then we will get into our guests. Cyrus. All right, Code Masseur from Georgia. All right, let's go ahead and bring them on. We can first, because of the order they're in down here, we've got Cyrus. We've got Mike's Gaming Gala. We've got Brian of Brian's Man Cave. And we've got DJC, Chucky. First time I've ever had this many people on. So welcome everyone in chat. Benville, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, Mike. David, evening all. Casey writing hi this week. Oh man, my emotions have been all over the place this week. Lots of stress. Bowling champion and now Holy Grail purchase. Pierre, what's going on? Good to see you. Kurt Bradshaw. Everyone's saying hello to everyone. I got Pierre. Metal Torso, what's going on, Dennis?
Almost looks like you're holding Chuck.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rick? Good to see you.
Like if that was were my hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Move it over a little bit
That's
more.
pretty cool.
Harvey declined.
Picturing the next Intellivision Gamer logo with just you holding Chuck like that. Or no, you holding Chuck and he's doing this.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking of the old magazine cover with Madonna or whatever. Never mind.
I got.
Oh no, you're thinking of the Janet Jackson with the
Janet Jackson. Yeah, Janet Jackson.
Oh my God, I used to have that poster.
Salvador, good to see you. Psycho Stormtrooper Roger Matthews. Where are we at? That might be. I see Brian's Man Cave and Cyrus.
Oh,
RDO. Good to see you. Welcome, Michael Hayes. Man, there was a lot of chat early on. EE Buckeye. I see there's some people that want to see the goods.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited to show it. Woo! Everyone's
Excuse
saying
me
hello.
while I whip this out.
Michael Doherty. Creeper, what's going on, Creep?
Creep.
We got the Intellivision Elite. All right, we're caught up
for a crime they didn't commit.
So what we're going to do for the main part of the show, guys, is we're going to go over our top 10 lists. So we're going to start at 10 and work our way down to 1. So each of us are going to do our number 10. We each have, most of us have a couple that we're going to play and show off from our list. There will be no duplicates. We worked that out right before we came on. So I guess we'll get into it. Let me move this over. So we're going to start out with our number 10s. Who wants to go first? Whatever order, we'll just keep the same order.
AC, and then we'll just go clockwise.
All right. So my number 10, and this is a list, I guess a quick explanation. I do not fully know all 125 games. I know most of them. I've at least tried to play most of them. My list is out of all the mini games I had as a kid and what I grew up loving. And I mean, they're still pretty relevant. There's just a few that would mix around. At a later date, I'm going to go through and do my current day 125 top 10. But this is what I grew up with. Number 10 is Demon Attack. I always loved the game. I played it also at friends' houses on the Atari. I love the boss level, and I love shooters. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I had to make my top list. I still love playing it to this day. So what do you got for your number 10, Cyrus?
That would be the one you introduced me to. I bought this. I didn't have this as a kid. I'd never played this. I actually bought this when I was on a run of buying a whole bunch of games, and I just kind of put it in the pile and never really played it. And then you forced us by gunpoint to play this game because of the wheel of pain that spins. And it landed on this, and I was like, oh, cool. And I was very surprised how much I've enjoyed it. So it's my number 10. Yeah.
I really like that one. I actually, on the Intellivision, prefer that over Defender.
It's pretty damn good. It's got parallax scrolling. I mean, it's crazy. Like, it's for an old school Intellivision game, it's very impressive.
It's fun to play. I didn't have that one as a kid, but I love it now. All right, next up, we got number 10 from Mike's Gaming Gala.
So my list is going to probably be different from yours because I never played an Intellivision until I was in my 20s. I never had one as a kid. I got no nostalgia for the Intellivision. So all of my choices are modern choices. And at my number 10 spot, believe it or not, is Triple Action for biplanes. I really like biplanes. And the fact that it has physics, it was like playing the combat, the dogfighting one, but with actual kind of physics. And I always really like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. I know that's pretty much everyone's top game out of that package, especially. I know they did a lot of that. They had a lot of contests at Mattel whenever they were programming on that game. That was quite a popular game for them to have competitions in office.
I got to say, there was a new version of that game that was supposed to come out that was also very good.
I know. I was excited about that one. It was one of the few things I was excited for.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
We won't get into that because that's just going to
I don't know what
everybody
I shouldn't have said anything. Disregard.
What's going on, Luke? Good to see you. All right, next up, we got Brian's Man Cave. You're number 10.
Okay, well, I want to start by saying that my list was not done in a specific order. Mine was all random. So it's not like this is my 10th choice. But anyways, on the list, because I'm actually basing this on a video I did about 4 years ago. So my 10th one was Venture, which is a Coleco title. And one of the better, in my opinion, one of the better Coleco titles that came out. And I remember playing it when I was a kid. My brother got it. I didn't know what it was. I didn't play the arcade game. I wasn't familiar with it, but I had a lot of fun playing it, and I still do today. In fact, even playing the ColecoVision version, the Atari version, all the different versions of it, I still like the Intellivision version of it. I think it's a really great port. The gameplay is fun. The skill of it, it's fun. It's got its own toughness to it. I think it's a really great game.
I didn't have that one as a kid, but I do like it. I play it today. I think I first played it. I don't know if it was for a competition or Astro Smash Mondays, but I had never played it before that, and I'm like, man, this is fun.
Yeah, I think we played it on there, Casey.
Okay, that must be the one then. I want to make sure.
That I would add to it, but that's later on my list. So I'm going to wait till it's my turn to talk a little bit about Venture.
All right, so next up we've got DJC for his number 10, and then Cyrus is going to give us a demo of Nova Blast, which was his number 10.
Oh my. Anyway, so yeah, I kind of did the same thing where I didn't have him in mostly not in particular order. Maybe my top 3 I did, but the rest of them were kind of just random in the rest of the list. But I also did a lot of this because there was like many, as a kid, that was, I getting into television with my dad, bringing it home. It was a lot of the stuff I had as a kid. Now, are some of these the greatest games in the world? No, some of them probably weren't, especially one that we talked about off air. But
and I will totally give you crap for it on stream too. Don't worry.
That's totally fine. Because, anyways, we'll get into that. But anyways, my 10 is Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Cloudy Mountain. And this is one I didn't have grow as a kid, but when I was in school, like when the Nintendo, I want to say 87, 88, when Intellivision sent out that brochure that said, hey, we'll repair your Intellivision for free, just buy a couple new games, blah, blah, blah. It was the 87 catalog, I think. So we sent ours in, got it. So I started getting into Intellivision again in the heyday of everybody trading Atari cartridges on the school bus. And one buddy of mine goes, oh, my God, I love Intellivision. I still play it. And I said, well, what games do you have? Let's trade off some games for a week. And he had Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and this is the first time I had ever played it, and in around 88, I'm like guessing 88, 89. And I love it to this day because that was the first time I was introduced to it. But just going through the dungeons and hearing the serpents and the dragon and just kind of not knowing what's around the corners, shooting in the dark. And I love streaming this game. It is one of my tops. Obviously, it's just a great game.
All right,
Oh, yeah.
Cyrus, you ready to give us a sample of Nova Blast?
No pressure. Hang on.
I remember
will be
that extra
judging you.
gameplay from the Wheelspin show.
Is that the right one? No, that's the wrong one.
Cyrus,
There we go. All right, here we go. Time for some blasting of the Novas. I can remember how to play this. All right. Come on. How does it start?
You might have to use the other controller.
What is happening?
Push 4 or 7 or 1.
Oh.
One of those.
Okay. Okay. Now we're cooking with grease. Look at that
I think
freaking
this
power.
gameplay is incredible.
Yeah, this is crazy.
You got the cool energy barrels on the thing, and then you got those things trying to kill your cities eventually in the water.
It's like an upgraded version of Defender. You have the little radar screen, and it's just really cool. It's just
So they got one of your domes.
Yeah, see. I'm gonna get him. Where are you going? There. It's those drones from New Jersey. Sheesh.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So I haven't played this until recently. Like, when was it we did that stream? Do you remember? Was it like a month
few
ago?
weeks back,
A couple weeks back.
3-4 weeks.
So I don't really have a lot of experience with it, but I like it so much I wanted to put it on my list because I love Defender. The Atari 5200 version of Defender is like one of my favorite games of all time. Specifically that version. I just really like that version. And when I played this, I was like, dude, this is that for Intellivision. This is like on that same level for me. So I dig it.
It's definitely one of my favorite games. I just wish I had it as a kid.
Well, it's so weird because I bought it and I didn't even realize I owned it. Because I don't know, like around the time I got it was the same time that a good friend of mine helped me to acquire the LTO Flash. And so there were certain cartridges I just bought and never really played. And this is one of them. It was one of the last ones that I bought. So it's kind of the same thing over and over. We don't have to keep going on it, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Just a couple minutes whenever we do our gameplay. Just speaking of the Wheelspin show, we've already all agreed to it. The next one is February 24th. So we've got 2 more weeks, and it's show 57. We're bringing back the Wheelspin show. We've probably got 3 to 4 more before we get through all the games. All right, we'll move on to our number 9.
Cool.
All right, so number 9 for me is the only IntelliVoice game that I had as a kid. I played the heck out of it. I really love what David Hartley did, making it or taking it from a sim to an action game. But this was my list growing up. I love the fact that it talked, and it was B-17 Bomber. I played it a lot. I really loved it, and my friends could not believe that we had a game that talked. And you know that's coming in at my number 9. So next up, I'm trying to remember what order did we go in because it's mixed up now.
No, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We'll get to everybody anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just keep scrolling from the top down. It'll be easy to not to forget. So if you're below me, you're next. Master.
I never had this game, but I love He-Man, and I discovered this in on a video on YouTube in 2015 or something like that, and I had to have it. So when I got the Intellivision, this is the first cartridge that I bought on my own when I got this new Intellivision that I have. Because I used to have Intellivision back in the day, obviously, whatever. But this was one I had to have, and I tell you what, it's pretty fun. I suck at it. I'm terrible at this game, but I really like it a lot.
That's another one that I didn't have as a kid, but I do think it's a really good game, and I enjoy playing that one too. But I'm not very good at it either. I haven't got it.
I don't think I've ever met anyone that's good at Masters of the Universe.
Is it just hard?
He-Man or whatever. It's just difficult.
This has to be talked about. David says Cyrus with that masterful split pickup in the bowling league. I don't even know how he left it, let alone how he picked it up.
It was totally intentional. It's about skill, you can't explain it. You can't coach that, as they used to say.
I would have had it open that frame. Football. I know it. Salvador says my dad won a sports bet at work. That's our best guess he never would say, and was paid off with a used Intellivision voice module in 21 games. That's pretty sweet.
Wasn't a sports bet. He knew something and was paid off.
Yeah, he got hush money.
Yeah.
What a challenge when you play B-17 Bomber with low fuel. Yeah, all the different options. If you haven't tried the new version that David Harley did, he turns it into an action game. I highly recommend it. You can get it on Intellivision.us. It's so much more playable, especially if you just got a little bit of time.
Can I interject something real fast?
Yes, sir.
Atari Creep says he's really good at this. Can you please do a stream and play this?
I'd watch that.
I want to see somebody.
Yeah, same, Creeper, same. He says,
I'm just asking.
All right.
That'd be awesome.
Kurt says, I bought the comic book that was supposed to come with it. I had Masters of the Universe, but didn't get. That's a common thing. If you buy CIB, and I've also seen a lot of phony comic books. They look very similar, but it's not the right one. And most people wouldn't know it if you didn't know. All right, so where are we at here? We are next, DJC number 9.
So number 9 is Thin Ice for me.
Good one.
This one, when I moved out to California for a few years, and a few of us were playing Xbox, and I got Intellivision Lives. So it was another kind of time where, I'm in my 20s now, also playing Intellivision. And that's where I got really familiar with Thin Ice, and just me and some friends would just sit down and play for hours. And I really thought it was a cool, simple game. You just making squares, trying to dunk your friends in the freezing water. Kind of mean, kind of cruel, but also but it is a fun game. It's got great music too. It's kind of, you're humming the tunes. I really love it. Thin Ice is my number 9.
That was a later game, Keith Robinson.
Yep.
And I didn't even know that existed until I found eBay 98, but that is a fun game to play. Again, I mean, I can do okay. I'm not very good at it. All right, next up.
I learned about it from watching Chuck. I just want to say that. That's true.
I learned it from watching you.
I learned it from watching you, Dad.
All right, for my number 9, I have Lock and Chase. Number 9 seems to be that column in which it's games we really like, but we suck at. I am for whatever reason, I am pretty decent at Lock and Chase on the 2600. I, for whatever reason, suck at Lock and Chase on the Intellivision. And, Intellivision Collector has Lock and Chase 8K, and they also have Lupin's Revenge.
Yep.
I have both of those. I want to do a 2-parter review, but I have to be able to record footage that doesn't completely embarrass me. So, I love them. I play them frequently, but my games rarely last more than 2 minutes. So, but I love the game though. I think that, and so for me it was a choice between that or Ladybug. Ladybug I think is the better game, but in the Intellivision version of Ladybug is the only version of Ladybug I don't like. So,
I think Lock and Chase is well done. I like it.
It's
but
difficult.
I didn't have
though.
that one, and I mean I can get a little bit, and that's it. And it's good for like, okay, let's play a couple games for a little bit. It's not something I'm going to play for very long at all.
It's the cops, the AI on the cops or whatever you want to call it. You know,
they're just way too smart on Intellivision.
They're coming after you. They're right at you. Turn this way, they turn this way. It's like it's not like a lot of people like, oh, it's Pac-Man. It's like, no, it's way more difficult than Pac-Man.
They've got coordinated SWAT team tactics. Yeah.
All right. So next up, we've got Brian.
Okay. Well, mine is actually a game I didn't grow up with, but I was aware of it, and that's Utopia. I guess what they always call the first God game simulator, SimCity, whatever. I just remember, like, my uncle had an Intellivision at the same time I had one, and I was over at their house, and he had this Utopia game, and I saw the cover of it. I saw the back of it, and I saw what it looked like, and it looked really cool. I wanted to play it, but I didn't really have. I didn't know much about it, and I didn't have it. So when I later on in life, when I was a teenager, and I finally got an Intellivision back in my life, I went to a retro gaming store, and they had it, so I grabbed it, and I had so much fun playing that game. I just love the just the ability to build your island up. I didn't really have a second player to play it with because at this point I was just playing by myself. But I would have totally loved to have this when I was a kid. But I definitely think that it's a very clever game, and the programmer Don, he's on the Intellivision Invasion group. I think he might even be on AtariAge. I've talked to him a few times, and it's a game that I kind of think like it would be really awesome if there was a sequel, and it's something I've been trying to swirl around in my head to say I got to make one day.
I have heard rumors. I have heard rumors.
I have as well, and even just a one-player version of Utopia where you could play against the computer would be awesome.
Version.
I mean, if that's all you did, people would buy that.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't make my top 10 list, but I love the game. I played it a lot, but the fact that I could never find another decent player, all my friends were Atari kids and they didn't have that game and no one would ever play. So I either played both sides back and forth or I just played and, went through it. So
if you want to have fun watching people play Utopia, I'm actually wearing their shirt, but Tim and AJ on Sibling Rivalry, My Drunk Sibling, every year on their, I think it's like their anniversary show, but every year they play Utopia against each other. And every year Tim wins. I'm rooting for AJ to win one of these years. But
she's actually winning some games now and then these days.
She's always won some games, but Tim sandbags her sometimes.
Oh, what do you get here? Kurt says, I played Utopia a lot with my dad. We love playing it. It is probably the most expensive Intellivision game I bought in the 80s. Salvador says, I used the coupler to play both islands at once. Huh, I have not tried that. All right, we're back to me. We're now to number 8. And after we all do our number 8, I will set up and play this one for just a couple minutes. Space Battle. This would be a lot higher on my list if it was a little harder. So early on, I pretty much mastered it where I never lost. It was just, if I would lose any ships. I love the dual screen, the radar screen and attacking. I always wanted something harder, more to it. And when I came back to collecting in 2020, I found out about the Battlestar Galactica Space Battle shortly after. And man, I could not wait to get it. I was so excited. I want to play it. And guess what was one of the last games that I was able to get for my collection? Battlestar Galactica Space Battle. But I played it a lot now, but it took me a while to get that sucker. So Space Battle, I love that game. It had to be on my list. Played it a ton. So I got the order now. So now we're gonna go in order each time, even though so we don't just mix it up. Cyrus,
But
number 8.
weren't you gonna play some Space Battle?
Yeah,
You're
but
gonna do it at the end of this.
Yeah, after
Yeah,
we all
that's
do
it.
our number 8, or whenever we play
Gotcha.
a video, after everyone goes, that way it gives us time to set it up and everything.
By the way, I want to take a minute to acknowledge that I have a subtitle or whatever you want to call it. My name, Cyrus, the other Intellivision gamer, and Mike also has a one as well. And
Also, games on Intellivision.
I believe Brian and Chuck should probably participate in this. But that's just
I just can't do it. It's against my religion.
oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
My bad.
sorry.
It's a
Yeah.
sensitive topic. Sorry about that.
Cyrus.
So I'm a terrible person. I'm sorry.
It is a devastating, unjust cause.
There
It
you go.
is.
Yeah,
It
that's
is
true.
Check out
very
your name.
Very devastating. The best Intellivision gamer? Wow. Okay. Well, I didn't want to say it myself, but you know. So the next game on my list is a game that was one of the ones that we owned as a kid. We didn't have a huge library, but we did have several good ones. It's also one that's not on my list because I am really good at it or like to play it necessarily. But I used to love to watch my brother play the crap out of Star Strike. I'm not good at it. And like I said, it's frustrating to me because I just can't understand how to time things and whatever. But like we were really into Star Wars like everybody was. And that we all know the story of this game, I guess you could say. And if you ever play it, it's like it's a Star Wars game basically. I know there's been like new homebrew versions of this that even take that to another level. But I used to really love watching my brother play this all the time. He's really good at it, and he would, save the, planet. I just kept getting the planet blown up over and over. But it's an awesome game, and I love it.
I had that one as a kid. I didn't find it to be that easy. Being,
No,
like 5 or 6 years old.
I'm terrible. I can't do jack crap on that game, but I do like watching people that can.
I got the earth blown up many times. Let's put it that way.
Yes. Thousands of voices cried out in terror.
Yes, it was Earth, not Alderaan. It was Earth.
That's right.
All right. Next up, we've got Mike, number 8.
Oh, number 8. So for number 8, I have Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
Beauty and the Beast, believe it or not, I've always preferred to Donkey Kong. Not just like the Intellivision Donkey Kong, which sucks, but Donkey Kong in general. I like Beauty and the Beast more. I'm not sure why. I always found Donkey Kong to be just very formulaic, whereas Beauty and the Beast felt more random to me. So maybe that's why I like it more. But yeah, that's number 8 on my list, Beauty and the Beast.
Good choice. Do you prefer the new version over the original, or do you prefer the original?
Or the
I don't
Disney
know.
version.
They're about this. There's some improvements in the newer one. I'd say the newer one is better.
The control.
It controls a little bit better, but it's like so the
like a polished version.
like I was talking about with my Lock and Chase pick. The new version of Lock and Chase controls a little bit better. It doesn't help me. It's like it's barely there is a difference, but it's not a difference that helps me really in any way. So I mean, I'm really neither here nor there, but I would say that the newer version is the better version.
Yeah, I would agree. I can play either one a lot. I love the game. I think the new one's just like a polished version. That's how I view it. So we got a few more people in here. We got Phil, Retro Bliss Gaming. Definitely go give him a sub. Check him out if you don't already. I'm one of the blisters. I love Retro Bliss Gaming, streaming pretty much every day. You're gonna see some kind of game on some retro console. We also got
I tolerate Retro Bliss Gaming.
What?
I tolerate him. He's okay.
If you like mediocre to expert gameplay and you want to see a lot of consoles, he is great every day. When I'm at work, which I go back to work next week, I can't wait because every early in the morning, right before break or right after break, I always have Phil on. So another one we got in here, we got Jesse, Ivory Tower Collections. Good to see you. Make sure, I hope I didn't miss you. If I miss you, it's not on purpose. We got Poe, Mr. Poe Style. They also do a show on Sunday, 4 o'clock my time-ish. There's a group of them that do talk about all kinds of gaming-related stuff, and it's great. If you can check that out, give him a sub as well.
They're good peeps.
Indeed.
A lot of content.
Both Phil and Poe are good peeps.
All right, next up, we've got Brian. What is your number 8, Brian, or the next one you're going to talk about?
So the next one I got is, well, it's already been brought up, but it was Triple Action. I think I like that one because it was interesting having a cartridge that gave me 3 different games to choose from. That was not normal for me. I mean, most of the cartridges I had were one game. Yeah, sure, the games had variants to them, but it was just neat having this, like, I can play a biplanes game, I can play a car racing game, you know, like there's just, I don't know, just whatever magic to it was interesting. And the fact that it was definitely designed to be a 2-player game, it was always fun playing with my friends, my next door neighbors, which I played Intellivision with a lot. And Triple Action was always like a go-to game. Like, we would always be playing it.
So did you play all of them, or was biplanes like the biggest one for you as well?
I think I just bounced between all of them. Like,
yeah.
I like the car game. I mean, the car game is simple, but it was fun. Like, it's just, it reminds me of the, I don't know if anybody had it. It was like that little, I know there was like a Sears version of it. It was like a little handheld thing with a steering wheel. You had this car that would go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. It's basically a video game version of that. And
I know exactly what you're talking about, Brian. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So DJC, his number 8, and then we'll get to a little bit of gameplay.
My number 8, like I said, on these last 5, they were kind of out of order, so doesn't mean it's a bad one or anything like that. But you may have heard of this one, slightly popular. It's called Burger Time. You play a chef, and you run over giant burgers and the toppings and drop them into a hamburger. It's time for burgers. It's time for Burger Time. You're armed with pepper. You got eggs and wieners chasing you, and pickles. In later levels.
Far more phallic than I recall it being.
Yes, yes.
Burger Time's another one I had as a kid, and I could play that all the time. I never get tired of it. David Harley, to me, made the game next level whenever he put so many different screens on there, and I love the way the first one's the same, and then they're all randomized, so there's no memorization, and you got so many different screens. It's really great. I love it. I love Burger Time. Good choice.
Another side note on this, and a lot of people probably heard me say this story a million times, but I collect arcade machines, and one of the Midway arcade cabinets I had was a Burger Time machine, and I remember getting it, and it looked awesome because the sides, like the hat, the chef hat was built into the sides. It was the shape and looked really cool. I was like, man, this looks cool in my lineup. But I barely played it because I like the Intellivision version better than the arcade, believe it or not.
I'm with you on that. I've
heard that from multiple people.
And so I was like, wow, even the music sounds a little better. It's not as like cut up. And yeah, I think the controls are the best. If people ever complain about an Intellivision disc, play Burger Time and then tell me the controller's bad because it plays perfect. So anyways.
Yeah, Jonas Ness, he is a big Burger Time fan. So yeah, he definitely plays that a lot. But I mean, personally, I never get tired of it. He's pretty good at it too. But yeah, I can see that. You want to watch different games, but there's only so many games, and he streams literally every single day. Unless something weird's going on.
He loves Treasure at Tarman. He's always doing Treasure at Tarman, too.
That's usually Sundays. He's doing some kind of Dungeons and Dragons Tarman dude. That's what I call him on Sundays. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of gameplay here. Let me switch on over. Why did that not move?
You're moved now. There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Retro sake. More to come tonight.
They're so far
I'll catch up with chat in a quick second here. So basically, you got 3 squadrons. Each has 3 ships. Oop. And I have mute on. Sorry, guys.
Oh, that's cool.
You see the number in the left side. That's how many of these fighters you have to take out before you clear them.
I tried to play this once, Casey, and I could never figure out how to get to this screen.
Hold on 1 second. The way I have still through the mic, I can't hear anything.
Yeah, on Atari, it's like you have to press up or left or right, and it's a little weird because I played a lot of this on Atari. On the Intellivision, I would imagine that you actually press buttons on the number pad for the different squadrons.
Yeah.
It's basically Wing Commander, but like
it's very much like Wing Commander. Yeah. Or Battlestar Galactica, the Cylon fleet's coming towards your.
Oh, great.
There's 2 Caseys.
Inception.
Which one is the real Casey?
Yeah.
OBS.
No. The Retro Gamer has crashed the Intellivision Gamer's channel.
Yeah, he sure did. Look at that.
All right, I can fix this. Luckily, I know how to do it, but give me a second here. I have to switch my camera.
One of them is the thing.
The regular one.
We're going to do a little test.
Close OBS and reopen it, but we can move on in the meantime. Let me catch up on chat here really quick. Hopefully I didn't miss too much
Retro Bliss.
Yeah.
Michael says, I'd like to make a loose port of Peter Pepper's Ice Cream Factory, the original arcade Burger Time sequel. I say loose because the original game is a bit unpolished. I don't think I've seen that one. Oops, I didn't go far enough up. I missed. For Retro Sake Gaming, what's going on? He is my NES guy. If you love NES, he streams most days. Nintendo. The question is, can I get a cup with it? I lost track of what that was about.
He's talking about one of my insane videos.
Poe says Burger Time on the Intellivision is the best home port. The Intellivision controller works perfectly with it. I love the way it plays on there. That's why it's my favorite regardless. Michael Hayes gets pretty intense. Yeah, it gets pretty intense. The new one on the hardest level, I cannot beat. I'm pretty good at Space Battle. I cannot beat it every time. In fact, when I went live, I couldn't beat it once. And as soon as it went, I kept playing it and I got it. But the new one on disc speed is not easy. Well, I saw something better earlier, Retro Bliss.
I really don't want to know.
Des, what's going on? Good to see you.
Des in the house.
All right, so that concludes number 8. We're going to move on to number 7. And at the end, number 7 is going to be Chuck playing one of his favorites. So number 7 for me is kind of like a shooter. I call it a shooter. It's Atlantis. That was one of the few games. I don't even remember getting my Intellivision. So I just remember it always being there. I got mine from one of my dad's coworkers. He bought it when it was first out. Everyone was buying games. Nobody knew if they liked them. Everything was kind of new. And he just wasn't into the games. So he had a couple of them. And my dad got the console and a few games and brought it home. And the rest is history. But I still don't remember even getting it. I just remember it always there. We had a bunch of games. I can remember getting Frogger and Atlantis one year for Christmas, my sister and I. And I love Atlantis. And that's why it's on my number 7. I played it a lot. And it's just a game that I can always go back to and enjoy it for however long. And I never get tired of it. So that is my number 7. Now we're going to move on to Cyrus, the other Intellivision gamer.
I thought we were going to play gameplay or something.
I did.
At the end of the
you
round.
did?
Yeah, we'll go through all the number 7s. And then if someone's going to play that one, I got it marked down. We'll play it.
I forgot. Okay. Snafu, mofos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is another one we had back when I was a kid, and my God, we played the crap out of this. This was awesome. Me and my brother, my mom and me, my mom, my brother, whoever, whatever combination, she got down and dirty with the snafu with the rest of us. And it's just fun, especially because we all watched Tron, and we were all like obsessed with Tron, and this was our Tron. It's just a fun game, and there's been so many like new versions of something similar to this, and there was supposed to be a new. I'm gonna shut up. There was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Did Michael Hayes hack that to be 4 players, or am I thinking of something else? That game needs to be 4 players. If it's not, I haven't tried it.
Yes, Fubar, which is a fantastic one on the. If you do the ECH, you can do 4 players.
On this one, that's on like Snafu should be 4 players. That would be great if it was.
So
yeah, because Fubar is like Splatoon on the Intellivision.
Yes.
Right.
Hang on,
right,
I forgot. I'm glad Casey talked about it because I needed to hear him pronounce this. You say Snafu?
Snafu.
It's Snafu.
Okay.
Snafu.
I was just
Snafu.
wondering because I had heard it pronounced differently, and I was like, wait a minute, am I wrong? Because we've always said Snafu, but I was like, I don't know.
Cyrus, can you tell all the kids out there in the interwebs what that actually stands for?
I cannot. This is not my channel.
Never mind.
This is not my channel, Chuck. Hit me up later on my Discord if you want to know.
I will go into the Discord of the Snafu.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say about Snafu is, again, I didn't have an Intellivision growing up, but Surround on the 2600, which is basically the same game. I played that all the time with my brothers. Just such a good game.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell
Snafu is one I had as a kid, and I remember playing it quite a bit. It was something. I mean, it wasn't like much to it per se. I didn't go through all the different modes. It would just be me and one of my buddies, or taking turns, and we just do the one-on-one. It wasn't even until later that I found out about the different modes.
But it goes to show that like you don't need all that depth necessarily to have a really fun game.
Nope.
Yeah. Okay, my number 7 is Diner. So the sequel to Burger Time, I believe it was originally developed as a Masters of the Universe game, but they went with the Burger Time theme. It is nothing like Burger Time. You're rolling stuff down to the bottom area and trying to avoid, and it's almost like a orthographic semi 3D environment that you're walking around. It's just, for what it is, it's super unique. I like it a lot. It's not a game that I'm fantastic at, but unlike Lock and Chase, I don't suck at it. So that's why it's higher on the list.
I know, like me, you're probably thinking Mike says that a lot about a lot of games, but I can tell you, don't play him at Frogger.
Some games I'm quite good at. Other games I'm terrible at. I tend to be terrible at Pac-Man style games, like maze games. I'm pretty good at Ladybug, but like Pac-Man, no.
Can I mention?
Okay, wouldn't call it good.
Can I mention that I'm very impressed at the use of the word orthographic?
I am a motion graphic designer by trade.
I'm impressed. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm impressed.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. So next up, number 7, we've got Brian.
Well, mine was actually the one that was just previously, well, not Mike's, but Snafu was my next one.
There you go.
And
There you go.
yeah, I just have a lot of memories with that one. And for some reason, I remember that being like everywhere. Like every time I went to a store, I always saw they had lots of copies of Snafu. So I don't know if it's just it wasn't a big seller or if they just made a ton of them. But yeah, it was a game that we had a lot of fun playing, especially 2-player. And I did jump into a lot of the other variants of the game, especially the one where you got to eat the tail. It was a little bit different than, the snake game line one, where you actually had a little tail and you were kind of going around and you had to go and eat your opponent's tail and try and like eat your opponent. I thought that was kind of neat. So it was just, it was a fun little game. It's still fun to play today.
If we ever figure out, I was just gonna say, if we ever figure out online and television play, Brian, we're playing Snafu.
I've done that
for sure.
I have done that. We need to get it back going again and something pretty stable. But in the 2005-6 7 era, we were playing games online against each other. David Harley set up a server and tweaked one of the emulators, Nostalgia. I can't even remember for sure, but we were doing it back then. That's something on my list that I'd really like to see, because we would all be playing games.
There's stuff out there.
Yeah, like on the Switch, how you can play NES games that never had online play. They're doing it on all those. I know it can be done. We just need to get it set up.
It already had, like, I've done it on Panda Sub's channel on Rumble.
Yep.
He has a program where you basically log into that same computer, and then we played Triple Action.
Nice.
To get
But you want something stable. You don't want to hit it and quit.
Right. Something with good net code, something that we're not worrying about, like a bunch of lag and weird stuff too.
Yep.
It played pretty well. I'd have to find the stream, but it was, I think, last year. But he's got a lot of crazy, cool.
We've got to get together. We've got to get our community together to do the stuff we really want, like that kind of. We got to get this multiplayer online stuff figured out, because everybody wants that.
Yep. Snafu's one of those games, though, that it has to have like zero lag, because you're light in the Tron theme. You're light biking, and you got to be able to just
100%. Yeah, that's true. And
all right,
biplanes is the same. Yeah.
And then the number 7, Chuck's he's last, and he's gonna play his number 7. So go ahead and talk us through your number 7 and then show it off, sir.
Lucky number 7.
Oh, I'm last. I'm showing it after this.
Yep.
So my number 7 is one of the greats. One of the greats that most people revere as one of the best adaptations to an arcade game of all times on any console ever, up to current. This one was put out by Coleco, if you know where I'm going with this, and it's Donkey Kong, the original green ape.
Top 10, not bottom 10, Chuck.
Chuck, are you are you serious?
Frozen.
Let me stress about this. This is the most frustrating game to control or to play.
Yeah.
But this is one of, I think this is the 3rd or 4th game I ever had. My parents brought this home, or I think I might have got it for Christmas that year. But I have so much, even as a kid, I went, wow. And my cousins had got
in a good way.
No.
Oh, okay.
I went because I used to play. I'd go to arcade and pop quarters in, and I go there. How? Why? And I remember the funny thing is, I went around the corner where my cousins had an Atari, and they had got Donkey Kong for that, and I went, oh my god! I guess I don't feel as bad because I played that one. I was like, it's a gingerbread man that only moves every time you go up a ladder. And so anyways, I think it's more nostalgia and laughing and having fun with both. Like, my mom and my aunt laughed so hard at the little guy running. A lot of people say he looks like Porky Pig, or looks like I always say he looked like a paper boy with like a sack of papers kind of running, like, read all about it.
You know what I think? You know what I think he looks like, Chuck? Remember Weekend at Bernie's, where he's like, you remember Weekend at Bernie's?
Oh, when he's kind of walking like that, yeah. So I could see it. It is frustrating. So, like, I did a stream, I don't know, about a week or 2 ago, and I finally got a dry erase board, because I always forget to write down stuff, and like if I do a personal best, whatever. So I struggled through this game. I wanted to throw my console. I wanted to break my, I was very. But I got up to let's see, DK Coleco, 136,800. And I don't think anybody would want to try to beat that, because it was, most of the time, it's so hard. You get stuck on a ladder, or you press jump and it doesn't jump. It's not the controller. It's not the Intellivision. It is the programming or something that is just not right. It was like they rushed it out too fast. And if you ever see me have that T-shirt, it has the big green ape, and underneath it says "Thanks, Coleco." That is why it. But as a child, I played the hell out of it. I used to jump into the voids, learn all the little bugs it had, and I had a fun time with it. But yeah, it did not meet my expectations at all for the original Donkey Kong. But because of the nostalgia factor, it's one of my absolute dearest favorites. So there you go.
You know what? I respect a nostalgia pick. That's all right.
Yeah, and for me, like you're the same age as I am, so I don't know about you. I hadn't played it in the arcade yet, so this is Donkey Kong, fun game. I knew no different.
You right now in was it Carl Mueller that did the DK?
Oh yeah,
Carl Mueller Jr.
He came into one of my into one of my chats one time because he's like, dude, you always play my D2K. I go, because it's amazing. It's like 1,000% better. You got the best control, the greatest sounds. Mario jumps on I could jump, go backwards, jump over 2 barrels, come back. Like it's the ultimate Donkey Kong. If you guys do not have D2K or at least DK Arcade, pick it up. You see it out there in the wild, get it, because it is it's one of my favorite things they've ever done to the homebrew scene is that game because of my nostalgia for I call it the Green Ape Donkey Kong, the Coleco conundrum, if you will.
I just want to say, ladies, find how's it we're supposed to say, ladies, find someone who looks at you the way Chuck looks at the Intellivision Donkey Kong. Because that is pure love. That is pure love.
Always have the
looks past all your faults.
Loves you anyway.
Oh, and it's always the second controller. Oh, that's not annoying. That sound.
I'm looking at it as the Weekend and Bernie's guy now.
It's the Weekend and Bernie's.
It totally is.
I just had over those barrels. That was nuts.
I always thought Donkey Kong was grabbing the barrel with his teeth. I didn't even realize those were his arms.
I think he's like the monster from The Watchers, that Dean Koontz movie that was a book. I don't know if you remember that.
I never paid attention.
I always wondered
what grabbed him.
Oh! It always looks like he broke his femur.
Yeah, it's kind of horrific.
But I always wondered where they got the tune, even though it's not really a tune, just the da-na-na, like what is that from?
They hired the same guy that did the sound effects for 2600 Pac-Man.
Yes.
But there it is, because this is literally the only board.
What character is it you're playing as in this version? Is
like
that
I said, like a paper boy?
What is his name?
Well,
it's not
Mario.
Is it supposed to be Mario? I can never figure this out.
It's Jumpman. It's Jumpman.
Jumpman early on, Mario, yeah. What's going on?
In the instructions, it does say Mario, at least on the one I have.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this version is Charlie Brown.
Go Game Go says, I'm just glad.
I think we've seen enough of Donkey Kong.
I've had enough. Like, I played so much of this the other day to get that. I'm good with it.
That was so cool. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I made my peace with it, and I think I'm not going to touch it again until someone dares to beat that score, which I do not recommend. I do not recommend.
Did you see Jeff? He's just glad you weren't playing auto racing.
Oh, that's coming, sir. That's coming. You know that's way up when I started. My first 5 are at my actual top 5. So, yeah, that's coming, sir.
Michael Hayes says he was Jumpman until Donkey Kong Jr. when he became Mario.
Well, he was in transition.
Well,
Chuck's next pick is Carnival, and then it's going to be Kool-Aid Man.
yeah, Carnival too, right? I think my machine out here says Mario on it. Or no, I think it actually says Jumpman. But I've seen some of the, depends on the year they came out, or they switched it to Mario on some of the original Donkey Kongs as well.
Look who's here. It's Rab. Good to see you, Rab.
Retro advisory board in the house.
Yes, sir.
Eyeball thick beer clay. I'm not drinking today, sir. I'm saving it for Astro Smash.
All right, so now we're on to number 6. Number 6 is another game that I played a lot of. It's a fun story I have. My parents didn't play a whole lot of video games when we first got this. I remember them playing a little bit. My dad stayed up until the wee hours of the early morning to beat my Astro Smash score, and he did. And I think it was like the next day, maybe 2. I can't really remember. I was really young. I beat his score. And I still regret that to this day because I think I took the wind out of his sails. I don't remember him playing games after that. So
Oh no.
I love that
Welcome.
Astro Smash story that's the only thing I can talk about gaming with my dad in my entire life. I have been, when I was younger, I hit, and I have a picture somewhere, over 800,000. I can't remember the exact number. I can't get anywhere near that. I would be lucky to get 250,000 these days. But back when I was younger, I hit a really good score. And, you know, that's insane when you get up to that. It's like, it's just luck, and you have to just like ride those men out. But that's my number 6 and my story with my dad. And now we're going to move on to Cyrus for his number 6.
Number 6 for me is pretty much a complete encapsulation of our extreme jealousy and nerd rage for my cousin who had an Atari 2600 and we didn't. I desperately wanted an Atari, but we had Intellivision. And don't get me wrong, I love my Intellivision, but everybody had Atari and nobody knew nothing about Intellivision. So I was not happy. But my mom took pity on us and tried to get us some games that were similar to Atari games, including this one, Space Armada, which is the the equivalent to Space Invaders, basically. But it's a little bit better, I think, on Intellivision. And maybe that's bias, or maybe that's the truth. You have to decide. It's not up to me to decide. But I will tell you, I love this game. I still play this game. It's hard, but I love this game. And I love all the animations and stuff and everything. It's really cool. But I do still play Space Invaders on the Atari also because I never had that. And
because it's superior. Excuse me.
It looks like we're losing Mike. I don't know what happened. He had to leave. He had to leave early tonight. That's weird. No.
What about the new version, Mike, that David Hartley did? How does that compare?
You know what? In the same way that Cyrus is biased, I'm very biased to 2600 Space Invaders because it was my first experience with video games. Full stop. It has always been one of my favorite video games of all time.
Yeah, see, that's my nerd rage though, Mike, because I know that it's really good on the 2600, and we were desperate to have it, but we couldn't get it. And this is the best we could get.
So you convinced yourself that that's better. That's fine.
I don't need this.
I feel like I have disappointed you once again.
No. You've just reinforced my childhood trauma. So thank you.
All right, Mike.
See you at therapy next week. All right, my number 6, Brian's Man Cave. He already said it. Is Venture. It's my favorite version of Venture. I am actually pretty good at this one. Retro Bliss had it as one of his Ninja Contest things, and I had to mention to him that the score loops. It goes to a certain, and it's not like a set number. It's not like, oh, it hits 1 million and it stopped. It's like 582,643 or something, and then it starts looping. But I had calculated, in case he still wanted to do it, it's like, well, my score is actually like 17 million whatever, because I had looped through the game 4 or 5 times. And that might be why I like it, is because I'm good at that version. But I like all versions of Venture, but it is by far my favorite version. And it is still, graphically it's simple. They could have made it more complex, but they didn't need to. I just really like being fun. The little guy with the arrow.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Brian's Man Cave is up.
Well, mine also, I guess this is going to happen to all of us, but has already been said, and that's Lock and Chase. It was my Pac-Man. I didn't have a Pac-Man game at that time other than Lock and Chase. The Intellivision eventually had a Pac-Man game. I never knew of it. Atari Soft made it. But at the time when I had my games and I played the Intellivision, that was my Dot Gobbler. And I really enjoyed it. I liked the music. I think the music was my favorite part of the game. I just love the sound effects. Even today, I just love the sound effects of it. And it's a fun game. And I like the how you got the different skill levels and you change the speeds and stuff. You can make them go really slow. You can make them go fast. It's just a lot of fun all around.
Yep, I like Lock and Chase. I just think it looks cool. Like, to me, the original one almost looks like homebrew quality. I like, what is it, the 4K from Intellivision Collector with the collapsing Lupin, and that was one of the
8K.
first times, huh? Or the 8K. One of the
That's
first
8K,
times
yeah.
you open up the gatefold and it's got the beautiful artwork all inside. I'm like, oh man, I love that version. All right.
I'd like to thank Brian for working in the term dot gobbler. Thank you, sir.
We got Chuck.
Thank you for saying
up with number
dot.
6.
My number 6. Well, everybody had this if you had an Intellivision, unless you got your Intellivision very late. And this is Las Vegas Poker and Blackjack. This is one I still will play with friends, whether I'm camping or I have it set up outside here in my yard. It's an easy game to play. It's a fun one, but a lot of nostalgia with that one, because when you first had your Intellivision, it was the only game to play. So I think my dad loved, he was the reason we got an Intellivision. And he loved like golf, baseball, the sports stuff, but he loved cards and card games. So that was like, he would play that constantly. And I think just the sounds of the shuffling and the shifty-eyed dealer. And like I said, I still play it every once in a while and I love it. I absolutely love it. I know it's a pack-in and it's you can call it a demo or a pack-in, but it's one I have a lot of, I keep saying it, nostalgia, but it's more than that. I have a lot of love for that game. I think it's a very clever little game for a simple card game.
I mean, how many of us learned to gamble on that game? I know I did.
Oh, I learned a lot. I learned like what blackjack was all about and what you had to do and stuff like that. 5-card draw on there. It was blackjack and 5-card draw. Were the two games that I got to know as a child too. I was probably like 6, 7, 8, whatever.
Yeah.
And playing that, but I used to always just try to make the dealer mad. I wanted to see him get angry, when he lost, and that back then it was funny. Still is.
Well, it's important even at a young age to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yeah.
Know when to walk away and sometimes when to run.
That's right.
That's right.
Can I ask you? You said earlier something about camping. What did you mean by that?
Oh, I go camping. I bring my Intellivision every time I go on a camping trip. I have a little. The last. Not
on your show. You did that. You had it out there.
Yeah, I have a little portable LCD TV that plugs into like a power. Now that you do those power cubes, you can get. So the last probably last 7, 8 years, I've been doing that. We'll be around the fire or just sitting it up at the picnic table, and we were playing horse racing this past year. We did poker and blackjack, couple of the 2 players things. Mostly it was baseball, a little bit of burger time, but mostly baseball and horse racing were the ones we were playing this year, which is always fun.
Yeah, I didn't know how to play those other card games. I knew how to do pairs, 2-pair, 3 of a kind. The other stuff, I mean, I was young, but I played blackjack most of the time, and I like you. Yeah. I like that dealer. I like pissing him off. I like all the faces he did. And the only other, we had roulette. My dad played Astro Smash, but he still plays roulette. Like when we go to the casinos, that's his favorite game. So we had roulette. I know I didn't pick that. I don't remember him getting that, but I know that had to have been him, because I wouldn't have been like, hey, Dad, let's get roulette. So I know he played that some too. Just I don't really have memories of that far back.
I'm surprised I'm surprised on the roulette. I played it way later. I have it now that I collect, but I never liked the straight. I wish they could have done something with a wheel. It's I get it. Maybe limitations, but maybe also just rushing it. I think that could have been done a little more. I'd love to see a shifty-eyed dealer come back with a newer style roulette game. I think that would be kind of neat. I'd get it.
All right before we move on, just wanted to welcome Johnny M. Good to see you. And where's the other new one in here? I thought I saw someone else. Fat Boys Gaming and Nonsense. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Good to see you here. All right, so we are on we're before we go to number 5, we're halfway now because we got through all our number 6s. We're gonna go ahead and try to do Retro Bliss's video real quick, and then I have 2 quick to read, and then we'll do the second half. So I tried to load Retro Bliss's. Sorry guys, that's one of the things about having your gallbladder out. Hours after you eat, you can just be talking, and all of a sudden, just burps come out, and I can't do anything about it. I've got his. I can't stop it. It just like mid-word, just it'll come out. So if that does happen, I apologize. It is a byproduct of the surgery. So I'm opening Phil's thing. I've never come up with this. He sent me a video earlier, and I open it, and it says this video uses a unique codec that your browser doesn't support. I've never had that happen with a video trying to play it on here, so I'm going to try to open it and play it shared window. Let's see if that works. Before we do that, we're going to get back to this way. Let me see if I can get this to come up like this. He spent a lot of time making it. I really hope I can play it. All right. Share screen. We hopefully we can hear it too, because I don't have loudspeakers when we play it this way. Everyone see it okay?
No.
I don't see anything.
Oh, hold on. All right, there we go.
There's Phil.
Let's
I know
hope
that
you guys
guy.
can hear it.
Hey guys, it's Retro Bliss, and
Uh-oh.
Casey asked me to give you a list of my top 10 favorite retail games that were released for the.
Can you hear it?
During the live
Yeah.
You might want to turn it up a little bit. I mean, we can hear
I
it.
can't.
I only been into the
Oh,
Intellivision
okay.
for probably the last 2-3 years or so. But this is a picture of a deal that I got at a game show. I wanted to show you this real quick. I got all these games.
Oh, nice pickup.
Console, an IntelliVoice module, and it included He-Man complete in box, which was in itself worth some money for about $150. So I got it like at the people were packing up or whatever, and I just said, "Hey, will you take this?" And they took it. So anyway, let's get to the list and see what I like and which one's the best. They will be in order from 10 to 1. In at number 10 is Defender for the Intellivision, which is a great port of the arcade game and a much better translation than the Atari 2600 port. I play this game a lot, and I have a lot of fun doing so. In at number 9
Who's
is
banging their mic?
when I play the
That's
Intellivision,
Casey when he
differences between this
he's doing his mouse.
Atari 2600, as it was the only
I can't mute it right now, or you won't hear the video.
Yeah.
What? No, sorry.
Yeah, Adventure is such a fun game.
It
Yeah.
is.
It takes him a while to get there.
I'm disappointing that Phil didn't clear the room though.
Ooh, Popeye on his list.
Poe's
Oh.
favorite game, Popeye.
Interesting choice.
It's a good port.
It's not bad.
I mean, everything's compared to the Daryl Ginter version now.
Ooh, this almost made it on my list. If I would have
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
15, if I had 15 top, it would.
That is on. It's on my list. Yeah.
Beam Rider is right up
Love
there.
that
Yeah.
game. Love that game.
There's also a port on this list.
Yeah. So Ladybug, I love it. Just this version doesn't really do it for me.
It's amazing to me that
I always wanted to play the Coleco version of this.
Lego version's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm
I
going
haven't
to
tried that one, but I want to now because I like that version. It's something different.
And the Champ Games version for the 2600 is amazing.
Okay, I need to play that because I have that.
Yeah, Ladybug Arcade.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
You know, I love Centipede for the Intellivision as well, but it just looks weird.
It's not
It's
as
like they're
yeah.
like the segments are, obviously they're not like round like in their.
But it's like pizza. Any centipede is still good, right? It doesn't.
So
have to
Yeah,
be-
yeah, it plays good. It plays great. It just
Yeah.
it
Playing
just
it with the
looks really
trackball,
strange.
I really like. I have the prototype adapters, and I'm playing it with trackballs right now, and I do like that.
Oh, that's kind of neat. Oh, look at
How
how
about-
beautiful this game looks.
Casey, nobody likes a bragger. I'm just saying.
You'll all have it soon. Trust me, they're coming.
Casey
soon.
is the master of the humble brag.
Ooh, another Beauty and the Beast there.
Yeah.
all while avoiding the obstacles that you encounter. This is very addictive.
He's got a really good list.
Oh, there's Diner.
I'm not sure who owns Coleco.
Which is a sequel to Burger Time.
Maybe no one owns Coleco.
Maybe we can own it.
Not Atari.
It's definitely not Atari.
We all say they should, and
Yeah.
Odyssey.
It
Yeah, why stop? Why
it
stop?
looked like they were. It looked like they were setting
Oh.
themselves up to be like the second gen company.
It makes
But-
sense.
They might as well if they got Atari and
The
Intellivision.
problem-
Get
the
Coleco
problem
and
with-
Odyssey, man.
Well, here's the thing. The problem with getting Coleco is what properties come with that. Almost nothing, because they were all ports.
Yeah, they're all ports.
Great list, by the way. That was great.
It is a very excellent list. There's some on there that I still have.
So I want to thank
Actually, only
Will.
one.
I didn't get out too many people with all the other stuff I had going this week. I wanted to get some more people to send videos, and I didn't, but he spent the time to make a list. And I do have, where is it here? What did I do with it? I do have two quick lists I want to read from friends of the channel. And we've got Rick Weidman. He sent his right away. He wasn't feeling too well, so he couldn't do a video. I hope you feel better, Rick. His top 10, no specific order. He has Worm Whomper. He has Dreadnought Factor, Space Armada, Stampede, which is the game of the week on the Intellivision Facebook group until Sunday, Bomb Squad, Demon Attack, Microsurgeon, Night Stalker, and Shark, and Cloudy Mountain. So that's his top 10. And we'll also be talking about a high score group that he runs on AtariAge at the news towards the end of the show. And then we have Roger, Psycho Stormtrooper. His top 10 are in order. Number 10, Space Battle. Number 9, Demon Attack. Number 8, Stampede. Number 7, Worm Whomper. Number 6, Thunder Castle. Number 5, Body Slam. Number 4, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Cloudy Mountain. Number 3, Sea Battle. Number 2, Tron Deadly Discs. And number 1, Baseball. The first one.
Nice.
Casey, I have an idea.
William, what's going on? Sorry.
We're down to our top 5s, right?
Yep.
Maybe we from here on just floating this idea. What if we all just do our top 5 real quick? Like just go,
Sure.
and then we
We can
just,
do that. Yeah,
'cause
I didn't realize.
For the first half, we've been an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't realize we were going to get this far into it and be halfway. If we thought about that, we could have did like a 2-part show if everyone could have returned another week and just did the 5-1. I didn't think we were going to take this long going through it, to be honest. First time I've done something like this.
Well, do you want to wait and do our top 5 next time or something, or do you want to just go through them real
If
fast?
everyone can do it another week, I'm okay for that.
It
but
really depends.
Mike's super
not
important.
easy to do with
Okay,
5
Mike.
people.
I'm not important though.
We're lucky to have him. Okay, let's be honest. No, I think we just go through our top 5s.
I think we could just rifle through our top 5.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll go in
Yeah.
order and just go through 5-1, and then for those of us that have one, we'll show it real quick. It'll be quicker that way. Rab says Coleco Holdings River West brands.
There you go.
Oh, somebody
Rob.
get on that. Get on that. Get them in
Who
touch
says
with
what?
Atari.
No Worm Whomper.
do I have
I'd
to
like
get
to
on?
welcome William Moeller from Elektronite. Good to see you.
Hey,
Oh,
William.
William Moeller.
We do have some news from Elektronite. Ty Lord, we are going to keep going. Good to see you. He is a local game collector. We actually work for the same company. Met him I was there with him at Sack Gamers Expo, and it's funny because I saw his video, and he's literally right where I'm at in line, and I didn't know him at that point. And then later I met him at the local game store and figured all that out, and now try to find him everywhere I'm at whenever we go to these local game swaps and different things. Definitely give him a check out. He does a lot of different gaming from all gens, does a lot of pickup videos. He actually beats a lot of games, which is something that I don't do.
Casey, I'm very jealous. I've known Ty Lord through chats and stuff for many years, and I've never met him. So I'm very, very jealous. I'm jealous of Mike for his Atari. And I'm jealous of you for your knowing
For my
meeting
Ty Lord.
Ty Lord. That's how dare you? This is
All right, so I guess we'll go in the same
Watching, you'll
order
be
here.
jealous
Hold on,
about
Greta.
something else that Casey has.
That's true. Yes.
Yes.
All right, we'll go in the same order, and it's going to be I'm up first. So we're going to go 5-1, and then if we have one, we'll play that really quick to show it off. Number 5 for me was Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Cloudy Mountain. I don't know about you guys, but like I said, I was fairly young, and that game scared the crap out of me. That like growling, and then whenever I was like, that thing used to make us jump. My sister is 3 years younger than I am, and she couldn't even watch that thing. But I loved it. I played a lot of that game. It's the only Dungeons and Dragons games that I ever had as a kid, and I always went back to it. My Atari friends loved it as well. That's my number 5. Number 4, I had Night Stalker. And this is another one that David Harley worked his magic, and there's so much more you can do in the new version. But as a kid, I love Night Stalker. Just that maze shooting, the randomness of where the gun lands, and you got to figure it out. And there's some spots where, you have a gun land, you're like, oh, no, not there. Anywhere but there. Whenever you're farther in the game, it's really hard to get to some spots and make it out alive. So, I really like that one as well. Number 3, I got Tron Deadly Discs. Again, this has a newer version that you don't last near as long, and there's some improvements. But I really like Tron Deadly Discs. Played that a lot. I can't remember how high I got. It was nothing spectacular, but I did love playing that one. Number 2, Burger Time. That's my favorite. Like Chuck, I like it more than the arcade. Probably because it's the first one I ever played, but I just like the big sprites and how well it played. And it was something that my friends and I don't remember any of my friends having Burger Time on any other consoles. Maybe they did, but we played it a lot at my house. I can tell you that. And number 1 for me, no surprise for a lot of you. I've since played a lot of people at PRGE, the original Major League Baseball. I have not even been close to being beat at that game. A lot of us have said that. We started going to these shows and actually playing each other. I set up a TV and a console, and I bring baseball. It's like the first things I load up every year at PRGE. And some people try a little more every year, and I love it. I love the competition. Papa Pete gave me a decent game, and Sean gave me a decent game. I think everything else has been just blown out of the water, like not even close. I'm not near as good as the newer baseball games, but that first one that I played all the time as a kid, all my friends were at my house playing the sports games. I was at their house playing the space games. We didn't really look at it as, the console was inferior or this or that. We knew we played certain games in my house and we played certain games at their house, and we all had fun. So that's going to do it for my top 5. And I need to play one more, and that's Burger Time, but I'm going to go ahead and let someone else go because I need to set that up. So we're going to have Cyrus go with his top 5.
I'm not going to play any more games. I'm just going to show you my top 5. In fact, I'm going to show you 6 because I actually just had to pull this one out of my list. I'm sorry. Beam Rider, I think you're awesome.
Beam Rider is great.
I think it's great. I have this on 5200 also, which is also really good. I think it's on 2600, right? Also?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, I have this one and 5200. Both of them are great, but not going to make my list. Sorry. So number 5 is Dreadnought Factor, which also have on 5200. Just a fantastic game. You can play it over and over. My label, it just came off of my cartridge, so I have to figure out how to fix this at some point.
No, that's a feature.
It's a feature. Right. It's with detachable label, the Dreadnought Factory. It's a badass game. The rest of these are games that we had, and this is why I had to make a change. These are games we had when I was a kid, and I pulled out Beam Rider, replaced it with Triple Action. I didn't really want to put that in at first because it's a game you really have to have 2 people to play, and I was like, I'll leave it out, but we're being real here. Dude, there's so many times me and my brother and my mom played the ever living crap out of that, so I had to put it in there.
Yeah, just because we don't have friends now doesn't mean we can't be nostalgic for the time we had with them.
And maybe I could trick my brother into coming over again, and we can do a video or something. That would be awesome.
Or some online Intellivision play.
Yes. Next, Pitfall, guys. Holy crap. This was our. We didn't have 2600. This was our Pitfall. It's the same basically, but dude, oh my god, I love that game. I don't even need to tell you about it. You go look it up yourself. You know about it. and then there's the last two, and which one is number one and which one is number two? I don't know. You can flip them. You could say it's this one. You could say it's this one. I have no idea which one's number one and two. And that's of course the big two. One of these, Night Stalker, is my mom's favorite video game of all time, like of any video game. And she plays on an iPad, crap like that now. But she will still ask me about, did they ever make that new Night Stalker? I really want to play the new Night Stalker. I'm like, no, Mom, it had never come out. But
here's the thing, it's digital clips, right? The new one's digital clips. Atari owns digital clips.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
They did the Cloudy Mountain as well as the Night Stalker.
Yes. So maybe.
Hopefully.
But there's those two. Which one's number one and two? You decide. I don't know. They're both awesome. And there's my list.
I see a number two.
Number two.
All right. I was going to say something about, I can't remember what it was now. All right. We'll skip that. So I'm ready to show Burger Time really quick, and then we'll move on to the next top five. Please don't screw it up. If it is, this is the last time I have to switch over.
Burger Time.
We got Burger Time.
Oh, yeah.
I think I might have it on mute. Maybe not.
We can add sound effects. Oh.
So it's a balance between saving your peppers till the later, harder levels. You want to get them all, and I'm not going to do that right here. I'm just kind of showing it off for anyone that might not have seen it. You want to keep them all in a line. Oh, I thought I could get that.
Following you.
You look like me playing this.
Trying to be fancy.
I'm terrible at this game.
Look at those wieners. That's a lot.
Whoa, and those buns.
It's a sausage fest here.
Oh my!
There you go.
For me,
drop your meat.
Knowing that the pepper uses the same sprite as the egg yolk, I can't unsee it now.
You just ruined the game. How dare you? Oh wow!
All right, that's good enough. Now let's see if it works still. Oh, what'd I do?
You broke it.
I don't know, but it's an improvement.
Who's up next? I'll fix it. Every time I'm going, it's like screwing up OBS. All right, so we've got Mike up next. I'll fix it while Mike goes with his top five.
All right, so my number five, Cyrus already talked about it, Night Stalker. The feeling and the mood in that game. I even like Dark Caverns on the Atari 2600. Like, it's a different game, but it has that same mood. It's just that kind of sci-fi. You're in a dark area, have to get your gun, defend yourself kind of feel. I love it. It's simple. My number four is Dig Dug. I played the heck out of Dig Dug on the 2600, and I prefer the Intellivision version now that I have played the Intellivision version. Casey is upside down.
I understand you guys. Sorry. How does that happen?
We can all do this. Hang on.
But
you can do that?
Yeah, hang on. I got you. Hang on. Give me a second.
All right.
Oh my.
I'm getting it.
Well, you're slightly angled. Good. Oh, there you go.
Well, I didn't do it on purpose.
There we go.
My OBS is doing it.
Anyhow, Dig Dug's cool. Number three, I've got Tron Deadly Discs for the same reason that others have mentioned Tron Deadly Discs. Like, it's just incredibly simple, but works so well, especially if you use a coupler and have the two different,
with no delay.
With no delay on the shots. I will say that the revived Deadlier discs I like better because the disc kills way back to you. which is awesome. My number 2 is the Dreadnought Factor.
Shooter.
And actually, one of the reasons that I really, really loved, the name is escaping me now. Elektronite release, Kai Magazine game. It's Bosconian, essentially.
Are you talking about Star Mercenary?
Yes.
Star Mercenary, thank you.
Yeah.
I did a whole thing
Great,
on
one of my
Star
favorites.
Mercenary.
One of my favorites too.
And but the vibe of that, especially because like all the star bases are green, always made me feel like the Dreadnought Factor. So that's part of why Star Mercenary is one of my favorite homebrews. And then number 1, obviously, we just watched it. It's Burger Time. It's hands down the best home port of Burger Time. Whether or not it's better than the arcade, I'll leave you up to your personal opinion. I certainly play the Intellivision version more than I play the arcade version, so I'd probably fall into that camp too. Who knows? And I love the hack that makes all the new levels.
Super Chef BT.
Great. Super Chef BT. That's
Super
it.
Chef.
Yeah. And that's my top 5.
All right.
Awesome.
So we've got next up Brian's Man Cave 5-1.
Okay. Well, starting I guess at 5, I have Donkey Kong Jr. as my. It's a game that I love. I love the original Donkey Kong. I was right up there with DJC talking about the nostalgia of it.
Yeah,
I remember getting Donkey Kong as a kid. I think it was an Easter present, and I was so excited and happy to play it. But when it comes down to actually the game and playing the game, Donkey Kong Jr., I think it blew it out of the park. I think, and I know there was a remake of it. Someone did another port of it. But I don't think it really needed it. I think the game was pretty good. It had all the levels in there. You know, it was good. It had three boards in it, but I still think it's a fun game to play. Going down to the next game again, Burger Time, for sure. The sound of the music, the game was fun. Again, another game that I got super excited when I got it, and me and my brother, we played it all the time. The next one is one that hasn't been brought up yet, and it's a game that I played a lot with my friends, and that's boxing. I think that was probably our favorite game playing as 2-player game, and that we would even start fighting over which color we got to be, because obviously the tan, I think it was the best one. He was the best fighter, so we would always kind of fight before even the actual game itself to see who got to play which color, and if you had to play blue or red or whatever. I always loved the boxing game. I think we had a ton of fun trying to get the double knockout and trying to just do all the the crazy stuff you could do in there. Then the next one, number 2, is a game that I always talk about being great because it's so unique. It was so unique for its time, and it really showed you how video game creators at the time had to really think about what could be a video game, and that's Bomb Squad. Even when I was a kid and I played it, I thought it was such a clever idea to have this, microchip or whatever you're looking at. You had to put the little pieces in there. You had to essentially you're diffusing a bomb to create or to figure out a code to stop the city from blowing up. So much fun. I mean, the game is hard as nails. You play it on the harder settings, forget it. I know that there was like an improvement version that was made, but still, it was one of my favorite ones. And of course, it's an IntelliVoice game, so you got all the voices going. You got so much. You got the music going on. It starts to make you feel anxious as you're playing it because the timer's going down. The music is playing, and it's got that kind of like that Paris siren sound to it. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and it's very unique for its day. And of course, my last one would be the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, which we've already talked about. I think it had it all. It's still a fun game to play today for me, and it was one of the games I was really excited about seeing on the Amico. Out of all the games that I saw that was supposed to be released, that was the one I was waiting on the most, and I liked it because I like the I like the 2D aspect of it. I know a lot of people talk about Treasures of Tarman as being a better D&D game, and I can see that because it's a lot more like an RPG style game. But I like the 2D games. I'm always going to be forever a Legend of Zelda, the original game fan. So playing the Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is my kind of game, and I just love it. It's just fun. I would love to see a proper sequel to that one.
I agree with you on that one. I've never played the other two. That's the only one I've ever played, and the way it's different every time. You don't just play this through the same game. You know, like it's just like the randomness, and then whatever path you take,
and then skill levels. You could play like the easy all the way up to the purple.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's still scary. We hear that. It's like I'm like, oh no, where is he? So, all right. So we've got Chuck up with his top 5.
I'll say, okay, so my top 5, we're going to start off with obviously a classic, and it's one we had, one of the first few games we got, Astro Smash. I remember the first time watching my dad get to the 6th level, because it was like, oh, the 4th level, there's the UFOs. Oh my God, you got to the 5th level, the gray one, everything's going down faster and faster. It went back to black. Oh my God, it was just so exciting. And that's all I always remember, just the sounds of that game. That is just Intellivision right there. Love that game, Astro Smash. Number 4, Auto Racing. Another one we had. I used to love to try to drive through to find the connection to the other courses, kind of avoiding like the trees and everything and the houses and just kind of messing around. I used to do that with a lot of games. Find the little bugs, find the little spaces you weren't supposed to go. I used to love doing that, but Astro Smash, love it. On my channel, I have a no crash run on all 5 courses. Took me a while to do it on some of the later courses that were like hairpins, but I do have that up. Number 3, this one just warms my heart. Chip Shot Super Pro Golf. We do have a golf league that I'm hoping to do again this year as well. That is one of the greatest golf games. They had the PGA golf, but it was such a simplified, it wasn't much to it. And Chip Shot just kind of took that. I love it. I love Chip Shot Super Pro Golf.
You guys want to join our league? Just asking. Let's
do it, man. Let's do it. Baseball. That's my number 2. Baseball to this day, still play. Me and my buddy will come over. If we have a few drinks, we have just a few of us here. I'll pop it on my big screen out there, and we're laughing, trying to steal bases. You cannot beat that. And I go for all the baseballs, whether it's the Major League Baseball, Championship Baseball, the new Home Run Super Pro Baseball. I love them all. I just love that version of baseball because it shows you don't need to have 2K25 to have fun. That is still a beautiful game and fun to play. And then my number 1, my all-time, the best of the best on my list, and that is none other than bowling. Once again, started with the PBA bowling. I said, there's no way you can make this. This is a perfect game. Why would you want to change this? And then what comes out? Striker Super Pro Bowling, a faster version, a more precise version. And now we're currently in a league on Papa Pete's channel, so make sure you go over and check that out. Every Thursday, we are bowling in the Striker Super Pro Bowling League, and we have a newer ROM, which is even more tweaked and more precise depending on where you land that marker and where you throw from, and it's fun. It is fun. It's quick. It's one of my all-time favorites. Number 1 bowling on the Intellivision.
Except Casey cheats.
Casey pretends like he can't get the ROM started, and he's like, I guess I'll have to use the one that's a little easier, and then he kind of goes with those scores. So we're up. We know his antics.
You all seen the screenshots of the right ROM too. It was even better.
We'll find out Thursday, sir.
I am going to talk about bowling in a little bit later, but I'm not sure who's still going to be here after this. So the bowling league, if you have a way to play, the format we're using now is everyone bowls a couple games, and we get our order from 1 to however many people are there. the top 5 move on, and 4 and 5 play, and then you move up to 3 to 2 to 1, and you have a champion. So if anyone just wants to play 1 week or half of them or the whole time, whatever, you can play it. You'll get a copy of the ROM, which is the 2025 Striker, and you can play part of them or all of them with us. It's a lot of fun. It moves pretty quick, and if you don't make the top 5, it's real quick. So yeah, Jeffrey. I just wanted to recognize Daniel Soberlick. Good to see you. You're going to be hearing that name in a little bit. I promise you later on in the show. No one will know why yet, but you will. All right. So that's everyone's. Move this on. That's everyone's top 5 or top 10. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of viewers too. I think it was interesting to go through the games. I think we should have did the quick version 10 to 5 or 6, and then the better version 5 to 1. But we really weren't sure how long it would take.
The learning process.
At some point, we'll do a homebrew one, and maybe we can get the same guys back on when it works out. And,
so many good ones.
Yeah, I think for me that's a lot more interesting because I've known about the 125 since, I was 5 years old, but a lot of the homebrews, I haven't played them all either. I've got my favorites, and it'd be really cool to some of you. I already know your favorites, but to hear everyone's favorites, see a couple of the games. I know a lot more people haven't seen all those, so I think that would be cool to see.
Yes.
So
I would like to, real quick, since you mentioned this, I would like to encourage the homebrew developers to please put out your games as a ROM so we can play them without having to track down the impossible to find cartridges and stuff. I'm just encouraging that. You make your decisions, but we want to enjoy your games. So
I do like it, and there is a community, but if they just put, I do see why some of them don't. I hope they do again in the future, because there is a whole nother market out there of people to want to enjoy these games that either don't have the money, don't have the room. I get both sides. I hope eventually we get to where we can release most of them.
The one thing I will say in defense, particularly of Elektronite, because Elektronite, they used to sell their ROMs through a television collector, and then they were leaked, and they were just like, no, William, that is his job. He makes Intellivision games, so he needs to make his money. But in defense of them, you email elektronite@hotmail.com. They've got most of their library in stock.
I would verify that is true. I've emailed him and he's helped me out. You can do that. Absolutely. Yeah. And I appreciate that very much.
At the very least, if you're not going to have ROMs, make sure that you have stuff to sell.
Yep. And now William can correct me if I'm wrong, but at one time not long ago, he said he will sell you ROMs if it's a ROM that was already released at some point. You just have to email him. If that's changed, I haven't been told, but he kind of figures I might as well sell the ROMs. If they've already been out there, they're already out there.
I appreciate him very much. So thank you. I wish everybody had that same attitude, but I understand it's a complicated situation. I'm just throwing out there. We're fans. We want to play your stuff. That's all I'm saying.
I got most of my games on my website for sale. Not all of them, but most of them. So if you're looking for any of the games that I've programmed, most of them are up there. I'll probably be getting the one I did for the Immortal John Hancock, the Block'em Sock'em. I know at one point he's cool with me releasing that, so hopefully that'll be soon as well.
Nice.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much, Brian. We appreciate it.
All right, so I know some of you guys are not sticking around. I don't know how many, but why don't you just real quick, starting with Chuck, and just go across, excluding me, of course, if there's anything coming up that you want to talk about for your channel.
Yeah, I'm still going strong on the Turbo Graphics. Gonna touch and play every single North American HuCard game, and then I'm gonna move on from there. After right now, I just uploaded number 56, which was Night Creatures. So yeah. Yay. Yeah, I know. So it's one of those ones that you just go, oh, this looks so cool. Wow, look at that cover art. And then, but anyway.
I paid $65 for that freaking game. Anyway, never mind.
That was one of the ones, and I say that I'm not really spoiling anything. The video's already out there, but I saw the story. I said that was one of those ones where I had a buddy that worked at a video store because Toys R Us would not bring anything opened back at that time. They started that rule: open video games. They won't. Once you open them, you're. So I took it, packed it all back in, had it for like a week, and was like, this is impossible. And I had him shrink wrap it for me, took it back up with the receipt. I did that a lot with games that I just didn't like. So I was lucky to have that back in the day. Anyways, I have a new video dropping in about probably 20 minutes. It's the Sillyverse bar sketches. It's number 4. This one's going to be weird, guys. You thought the other ones were weird. This is going to be the weirdest. And I'm going to
next level weird.
No. I'm going to apologize right now to everyone watching, and that's going to check it out after me talking, because it's weird, man. I don't know where this is going, but it's going to a really weird place. But anyways, enjoy. It's going to be funny.
Tell us about Astro Smashed.
Yes, Wednesday. Show. Yeah, Intellivision stuff, right?
Oh, and Chuck, don't forget about me. We're doing that. Oh, it's already been canceled. Ugh. What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. No, yeah, me and Cy we're gonna do a head-to-head Astro Smash battle because what was it, about a year ago we were both around the 330 thousand or 340,000 around that, and then like I did one, then he did one, and then he did another one, and it was like I think it was like, I don't know what, 30 or 40 points up from me or whatever. I was like, damn it, I can't go and play it again. So now that I'm not as I haven't played it as much, I think I can get back into a long couple-hour run on that. So we will have to do it. I don't think I could do it this week, but let's try to schedule for the following week, me and you.
I think we need to talk about this off air, Chuck. I have an idea for this.
Okay,
we'll talk.
Yes.
We'll talk about it privately.
But look for that soon. But Astro Smash on Wednesdays at 9:30. We drink, we do shots, we get smashed, and we play a bunch of different retro games, from Atari to Intellivision to Turbo to Sega, NES, whatever the night brings. So join us in chat. That's about all I got. And throw a sub if you're beat so kind.
All right, Brian, you have anything coming up you want to make sure that we watch?
Coming up, nothing coming to mind right now, but I did a video today talking about like a series on amazing Atari 2600 games, where I focus on Montezuma's Revenge, which is personally I think is a really great game for the console that it was on. But as far as future, I kind of just right now I'm doing things when I just get inspired. I am working on another Intellivision game, which is a port of Turtles from the Odyssey 2. And that's
like Turtles. Sorry.
This one's actually called Tortoises, so it's a little bit different, but it's also for the immortal John Hancock. So that's
so random. I'm sorry.
I'm almost done with that game. So hopefully, I did a little teaser. And hopefully if I get a little bit more into the game, I could do another video on that and show a lot more, because I have a lot of ideas that I'm throwing in there that are unique. I always like to make my port have something unique to it that no other system has. So, throwing in some extra levels, some extra, little stuff to it just to make it a little bit different and fun. But that's it for me.
And a little side note, we've just set in a few more shows a few weeks ahead, we're going to have Brian on to talk about the game. And there's another topic we're going to talk about as well. We also have the same thing a few weeks after that. Mike's Gaming Gal is going to come on, and we're going to do a YouTuber highlight, and we're going to talk about game testing. Him and I are both game testers. He's been in a lot longer than I am. So with Mike, we're going to talk about game testing and a YouTuber highlight. So who is next? Who we got here? We've got Mike. Do you have anything coming up that you want to talk about? We got something tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow night is the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. You can watch on Retro Bliss's channel, or you can watch on mine. We simulcast, and we'll be talking about the AtariAge Homebrew Awards for Atari systems. Last week, so Cyrus, if you were like all feeling withdraw because you didn't have Space Invaders for the Atari 2600, last week I did a review of Yassi and Protector for the Vectrex, and this is arcade perfect. Arcade perfect.
Oh, I'm so
Protector
jealous.
is Defender,
They
and
look
this
good.
is
Oh,
2600. They're
dude.
really good.
Oh,
And this week, I'll be doing a review of Time Pilot from Opcode Games for the ColecoVision. Actually, I'm sitting beside a massive daisy wheel printer because I'm recording this on my Atom, which I now have a composite cable for. So the footage actually looks good. So I'm excited about that. As a side project, something that won't be out probably for another month or two at least, but I am working on a documentary. I'm trying something different, and it will be mildly controversial, like not in a bad way, just like people will disagree and they'll tell me I'm an idiot. But but if any of you, because I am trying to get the one thing that I think that would really put it over the top is an interview with Todd Fry. So if any of you have contact information for Todd Fry, you let me know.
Sweet.
oh.
Yeah.
Cyrus, do you have any late night game streams coming up or anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm probably going to be streaming some various different things, different consoles, maybe play my Evercade a little bit, maybe play some old school PlayStation stuff. And I might throw in some of this, Intellivision and Atari. And I'm really not sure. It just depends on how I'm feeling at the time. I don't know. I'm getting dizzy.
We need a flush sound effect.
You guys feeling okay? Everything seems okay? Oh no! I've seen this. This is the black hole.
I gotta look away.
That's a crazy movie. Sorry, I'll stop. But no, just the usual crap that I do. Live streams and sometimes maybe videos. Blah blah blah. Not nearly as engaging and entertaining as Chuck's got a string of various highly colorful characters that are doing what Chuck is describing as weird stuff, which, holy crap, that's going to be on another level. We've got Brian, who is making games and making ports. I saw this Donkey Kong 3 thing that you were working on. Very impressive stuff.
That got released, yeah.
Yes, very impressive stuff. I could never dream of doing anything that you do. It's amazing stuff. So we're very lucky to have you in the community, and thank you for that. And then there's Mike, and then also Casey. No, but you guys are awesome. I'm very happy to be invited to participate in things like this with you guys. You guys are your guys are badasses. So thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so that's going to do it for the top 10. We've still got a lot of show left. I know we're way later than usual. Some of these guys got to take off.
Casey, I'm sorry. I do have to take off, but before I go, and I know it's something that was going to be part of your news segment, but can I mention something about the retro gamer thing before I leave?
Ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I obviously, YouTuber of the month is near and dear to my heart. I won YouTuber of the month in July of 2023. That is how I'm like, that competition is the reason I met Retro Bliss, Mr. Post Style, Ballistic Coffee Boy, Game Closet, lots of cool people. Really opened me up to community outside of just what I was doing on YouTube. And then I became YouTuber of the Year, and I hosted for last year, and I am now no longer the host. The host is Upper Nimbus, Australian gentleman. He's doing a great job. It's his second month. But nominated this month is not the Intellivision Gamer, but the Retro Gamer. And that is still Casey. So please, I would love to see Casey win this. The winner, the only prize you get by winning is being able to nominate 5 other channels. But the cool thing about that is, he's going to be nominating real retro, like 2nd gen, maybe 3rd gen. But, I would expect these guys to get an offer for a nomination, for instance. Maybe Mr. Post, like just people who cover the really old stuff that I know at least everybody here, we all really love. So head over to Upper Nimbus's channel. I'm positive that if there isn't a link in the description, there will be at the end.
There will be.
Yeah, but make sure you go over there and vote for your guy, the Retro Gamer, though. That is Casey's second channel. And if you haven't checked out his second channel, please do. That's where he does all the non-Intellivision stuff.
It's still really new, which is I'm really surprised that one got nominated. When Mike first told me, I'm like, oh, cool. I'm thinking the Intellivision Gamer, right? And I'm looking all over. I was like, can't find it. And then all of a sudden I start seeing these comments come in for the Retro Gamer. And I'm like, oh, congrats, on the nom. I'm like, oh, that's where it is. But yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Looking forward to that. I'm going live tomorrow on that channel. That channel link to my channel, the Retro Gamer, is in the description already. The other one is not. But if you want to check out the other channel or you're around tomorrow, 9:30 Pacific time, I'm going to show you some pickups, talk about the YouTuber of the Month competition, and play some games. So just wanted to recognize Carlos Madruga. Welcome.
Hey, Carlos.
I'm not sure how long you've been here, but one of the best programmers, along with many others that we have on Intellivision. He's responsible for many top games. Good to see you.
Let's just say that when we do our top 10 homebrews, he's going to come up a lot.
Yep. Whether you know it or not.
Oscar Kenneth. Yeah.
Just arrived watching the recording. Yeah, we went through a lot of fun stuff tonight, and want to thank you guys for coming on again, guys. The show's still moving on. Some of these guys got to go. I've got a lot of good stuff, including some huge pickups. One is a pickup of a lifetime. If you don't already know, I'll show it to you. I'm going to talk about the story of how I came to own it, and we're going to go over the rest of the show. But some of these guys got to take off. I'm going to go ahead and say, for anyone that needs to take off, whether it's one or all of you, thank you for coming on. And we've got shows with pretty much everyone on here coming up in the next few weeks. So you'll see them again on the Intellivision Show soon.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm hopping off. Bye, guys.
The show's not ending. We're just taking off. So you keep watching, guys. Keep watching.
Whoever wants to stay or has time,
people are staying.
But I know
see you guys.
All right, bye, Casey. Good luck showing everybody your new treasure.
Yes, thank you. All right, I'm all alone. All right, guys, so now we're going to head off into the regular part of the show. I know it's almost 2 hours in. This is going to be a longer one. I have a lot of good stuff. I did not plan on the top 10 taking that long. I was thinking like maybe an hour at the most. So I've got a quick show update. I wanted to go over what I've got coming up. Next week, I've got a Homebrew Highlight show. We're going to have all the regular, the news, the Homebrew Highlight, all the things like that. We're going to pick some of the games that we've had Homebrew Highlights on in the past, and we're going to have a gameplay episode. It's a lot of fun to play these games, something I just don't get enough time to do. So I've got to work it in on the shows now and then. The following week, show 57, we've got the Wheel Spin show. So it's going to be myself, PJ Smith, Cyrus, and DJ C, that were two of them that were just on here. We're going through, we spin a wheel, we play whatever game it lands on, friendly competition. It's always a lot of fun, gets a lot of views. The following week, we're going to have Brian's Man Cave on. We are going to talk about his upcoming Turtles game, which is Tortoises. I forget what he said. We're going to do a YouTuber highlight on him, talk about his channel as well. The following week is 59. We're going to do a horse racing live. That's a lot of fun. If you guys haven't heard of it, I have a special version of Horse Racing Live, courtesy, or Horse Racing. We call it Super Pro Horse Racing, from David Harley of Intelligent Vision. And it's great for streaming. 6 of us play. We do a 10 race game, and winner takes all. It's a lot of fun. I call it like an announcer would at a race. We really enjoy those shows. We've done a lot of them. Check it out if you haven't. If you want to play, it's really easy. You just bet up to $250, pick your horses, and see what you can do. So the show after that, we're going to have Mike's Gaming Gala on. We are going to do a YouTuber highlight on Mike, talk about his YouTube channel, his YouTuber of the year, which pretty much skyrocketed him. We used to have close to the same amount of subs. He does a little bit of everything, and he went through all of that. He is like 4,000 to 5,000 plus now. I want to talk about all of that, and not so much Mike, but his channel. And then we're also going to talk about because I test some games too and hardware, and we've talked about a little bit of that. Mike's been doing that for quite a while. We're also going to have a separate segment with Mike talking about game testing, which that should be a lot of fun. Show 61, I don't have planned yet. It's my last show before I head off for 2 weeks. I'm going to the Midwest Gaming Classic. I will give you guys a lot of live footage, a lot of pictures, and show you all my pickups. It's a family vacation mixed in as well. There's no way I can do that without mixing in a little family vacation. It's like a 33-hour drive for me, probably longer because we're taking the motor home. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll show you guys pictures of not just the gaming stuff, but I'll show you guys the trip along the way and with the family. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. The 2 weeks that I'm gone for that show, I'm going to record. The first week will be easy. I'll have news. I'll have Homebrew Highlights. It's going to be a recorded show. If I'm available, I will be in chatting with you guys. I'll do premieres. So I'll have 2 weeks of that. So that's what I've got scheduled out. A lot of fun stuff. A lot of guests on. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to have to get busy planning for all that. So now, as Mike talked about, I've got channel updates. The Retro Gamer is nominated for YouTuber of the Month. It's something that's a lot of fun. I've already got a lot of comments, likes, new subs. It's really cool for smaller channels. I don't know how in the heck somebody found me from overseas and wanted to nominate me. I really don't have that much. I play a lot of different consoles, and I show off more things mail call than anything. I am going live tomorrow. Check it out. I also will talk about who nominated me, and in that video there's links so you can go check out his channel and all the other ones. I'm not one of those guys that says vote for me. I'll give you the links. Go look at the 5, whoever you like. No hard feelings at all. This is all just fun for me on that channel, because here's all business in television. I want to spread the word. I want to keep you all informed. I'm highly knowledgeable when it comes to Intellivision. The Retro Gamer, that's my outlet for everything else. I have a lot of stuff that's not in television. I go from Pong units to current gen, VR, everything in between, and I buy a lot of crap. So I like to show it off, and that's how I end up playing it when I'm making videos. These days, if I'm not making a video, I might not even be playing it. TJ says, I will vote for you. I appreciate that. I'm going live tomorrow at 9:30. I think I said it my time Pacific. So 12:30. I'm still off until next Monday from surgery. So I figured, why not? I haven't been live on the other channel yet. So now let's go ahead and get into some news. When my OBS crashed earlier, it crashed all the way. Like, I had to open it again, close it again. That was crazy stuff. So we've got some Intellivision news, and I'm going to pop up a few of the items here. So first up, we're going to talk about the bowling league. We talked a little bit about it earlier. Let me bring up the website. Once I get one rolling, it will be easy because they will all be in a row. I've kind of got it all set up for everything that I need to show for tonight. Present, share screen, window. Let me pop it up on the right one here. Where are you? There we go. All right. So here we're at the Intellivision Collector. That's not where we need to be. We are at the bowling league. And where is the bowling league? Son of a... Somehow it's gone. Oh, well, we're going to wing this one. So bowling league, Papa Pete's channel. It's a new format this year. We have a new version of the game. It's a 2025 version of Striker. It's pretty much the same as Striker that you guys have if you've bought the game or have the ROM, except for it has a lot more precision built into it. I think it's designed to not be as easy. Like some of us that play it over and over, we can find the magic spots and just bowl really well every single game. I think it adds a little more to it where it's harder to do that. So it's kind of like real bowling. I grew up bowling. I went all the way to the state championships in California as a junior. I know about competition bowling. I had a lot of fun growing up. It's not always easy. I mean, you can be in a good rhythm and bowl good games, and then you can not do anything. I think the new version is aimed to be a little more realistic. Anyway, if anyone is interested in playing in that league, you can come on for one of the weeks, half the weeks. You can bowl the rest of them. It's a format that's quick, easy, and everyone has a chance. Everyone bowls 2 games. You take your total, and we rank. Top 5 move on. 4 plays 5. The winner plays 3. The winner plays 2. The winner plays 1. And we're 2 people are on the screen. Everyone else is smaller off to the side, kind of like how I was doing tonight. And we're all on camera chatting back and forth. And it's a little more pressure because you're one-on-one and you're bigger on the video and everyone's you watching. But it was a lot of fun. I love the new format. Papa Pete did a good job figuring that out. If you are at all interested, reach out to Pete, reach out to myself, DJC, Cyrus, PJ Smith, whoever you know. We would love to see different people come in and make this like a bigger tournament. It's more fun with more people. All right, so now we're going to move on to the Intellivision Invasion Weekly Challenge Truckin'. Now, this is a game I didn't have as a kid, and I did not even know how to play that game. Pop this back up here. I didn't even know you could get a score or a date or a time. I don't even know what this is about. Apparently not other people did either because only 5 people participated. 2 of them didn't finish. I'm assuming they just gave it a good effort. I don't really know how to play this one, but we have Greg Carlson, the winner, and June 6th, 420. Kurt Kietsky in second, June 7th, 1955. Third was Cristiano Colombo, June 12th, 5 o'clock. And then Jose and DJ F participation. So congrats to everyone that played that or even knew how to play it, because I sure as heck don't. This week, all the way till Sunday, they are playing Stampede, I believe. Yes, Stampede until 2/16. That is a game literally you can take a minute or two, and you're probably lucky if you can last that long. Play it, send a screenshot in. It's a lot of fun. I love Stampede. I'm definitely going to play this one. I'm going to have to find some time. Do it if you can. If you can't, check on over at, let me pop this up here. If you're not part of this group, I don't know how you wouldn't be. It is the largest by far, 5,500 members strong, Intellivision Invasion. It is the Intellivision Dudes Facebook group. I am one of the mods, admins, whatever I am. I can't remember the exact title, but you will get in, just put down, join, put your favorite Intellivision game, and you are in. There's a lot of information goes on there. The weekly game challenge. We post video links. People post about games. There's all kinds of things. YouTube links. So that's it for that one. Next up, we have the AtariAge challenge. We'll knock both these out in a row. So we've got, I kind of was learning how this one went. We talked about these games, and I was wondering when I talked about them, why I didn't have any scores. Well, you start playing, and then these go until a certain date. So this one actually stopped, I think it's right down here a little bit, February 3rd. So it's last week. I should have a new one next week, and here are the final scores. Sorry, guys, scrolling fast here. This is Tron because there's 2 games for this week, and I couldn't remember which one I was on. They both say blasting shooters. This is Tron Deadly Disc. We were talking about it earlier. It's on a lot of our top 10s from earlier in the show, and these were the scores. This is nuts. This is why the new version is better. You know how long it takes to get 4.5 million points? It takes a while. And the new one, nobody can go that high. At least no one that I've seen. The games are much quicker. We've got Peripheral with 4,685,100 in first place. We've got Intifan Matt, 3,479,600, and then a big drop to Garu. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. 1,300,850. Then you got Rickster with 1,053,000. M Crew, Lupovax, Wolfie 62. I recognize that one. DPI. I'm not even gonna pronounce that one. David Vision and Fake Cortex all competed in that week, and there was one more. This was for Deadlier Disc, the new version of the game. The disc kills both ways is the biggest thing you're going to notice, along with the color change. I don't believe as many people are going to play this one. Yep, pretty close, though. Peripheral wins this one as well. Look at the score difference. 4.5 million. And in this one, to win was 24,000. Kind of gives you an idea. The difficulty ramps up in the new version, which is, to me, is so much better. Garu, the same one that played in the last one, 16,520 in the 2 spot. Rickster taking the final podium spot with 12,265. Wolfie 62, Lupovax, M Crew, DPI, Sakane, Crash 7. Crash, come on. I know who that is too. 460? You must have ran out of time. They also keep a running total, which is really cool. You'll go on a whole season. They go through all these different games, and you get to keep a total, and you can play some of them, all of them, half of them, whatever you can, and you're going to get a ranking for that season. Right now, you got Rick in the top spot. He pretty much plays every week. I'm assuming he's the one running this on AtariAge. The links will be in the description. They are not there yet. I ran out of time with all the guests, and we had to set things up. So definitely check this out. If it's something you're interested in getting in, it's been going on a long time. I'm still trying to get Rick on to do a quick video and talk about this challenge, and something that I hope to get together soon. So next up, we've got the soundtracks. These are some things I've talked about before. Definitely want to check it out. If you're into Intellivision game soundtracks, I will have the link in the description. It is a Don. He does a lot of great music and a lot of Intellivision games. This one is Gradius. It was a work in progress. Not sure this one's going to make it just due to limitations that it, the specs that it needs to run this game, the Intellivision can't quite handle. Mermaid is a work in progress. That game will be here shortly. I have played it at PRGE. It's something different. We all really liked it. Gunfight, another one in the works. Can't buy the games yet, but you can get the soundtracks. This is Adventure. It's not going to be called Adventure. It has another name. I don't know what that is yet, but that's what its running title right now is, Adventure. So there's 4 soundtracks. The link will be there. You can message and pick these up. I've got all of them behind me, everyone he's ever released, and I already did my pre-order for this one. The next one I want to talk about, something we already talked about, just in case you haven't seen it, I want to bring it up again. We've got the IntelliPaddle. This thing works great. I have the version that was the early version behind me. I have another controller that uses the same spinner from Charles, and then I have the new final release version, and I have a video that I tested a lot of homebrew games, a lot of 125 games. If it works well, which there's a big list now, it's really good. I really like using the paddle controller. So definitely go check that out. If you are lacking a paddle controller and it's something like Stonix, other Pong games, those are the biggest ones. Stonix was number 1 for me. But since we did some testing, there's a lot more. There's a lot more that I love to play with that paddle controller. So I definitely say go check it out. Mr. Do. I don't have anything to show you until later. I'm going to play it, and I'm still going to do it. I know we're running long. Not everyone's in here the whole time. Some people come later. I'm going to show you the new Mr. Do. There's a brand new version. I have 2 new ROM versions within 2 days, in fact. The new version created some new bugs, and they wiped those out right away. Before I could even play the other one, I got a new version. So the game is doing fantastic. It is constantly being worked on by one of the best programmers out there, and I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on the final version, and I love testing it. Mr. Do is a game I loved in the arcade and still love playing to this day. So we've got a little bit of publisher news. We're going to bring up the Intellivision Collector website, but first, there's nothing that we can talk about at the moment, but Luke is very active in doing a lot of cool things that are coming out in the near future. Now we're talking games and we're talking hardware. Very near future, keywords. Be on the lookout. Myself, Papa Pete, the website, this stuff's going to be everywhere once it's able to be talked about. Trust me, you're going to want to know about what he's got coming up. In the meantime, right here, I wanted to show you guys, if it's something that you don't already know about, there are a lot of full game, good, fun ROMs that are available right now for free. If you go to Intellivision Collector and you go to digital downloads and then you click on free ROMs, you can get Onion, which is a ROM only kind of thing. I haven't even played that one. I can't tell you too much about it. Fantasy Puzzle. So I have the full version from Cote Gamers behind me, and these are fun games. So you can pick that one up free. You have to have an account in Intellivision Collector. You just go in, you add these to your basket, and you check out. There's no fee. They're in your account, and you download the ROMs. And this is Maria. This is kind of like a Zelda type game. It is my favorite Cote Gamers game after Pyramid Warp. It's my favorite game that I had no idea I was going to like. So Maria's there. Heli ROM. Heli is a great game. Hero on other platforms. It is Heli on Intellivision. There's another version. If you put in a passcode, you can do a Christmas version on this game. Fun game. Highly recommend it. Max it. This is a puzzle game that was released for free originally. My son and I play the crap out of this. It is a fun game. It's not chess, but it makes you think like chess. You have to plan moves ahead. You basically, one picks a column, one picks a row, and you alternate, and there's a positive. You see green and red on the box right there. Positive score and negative, and you think ahead. The better you can think ahead, the better you're going to do. We really enjoy it. It's free. Give it a shot. And here's another one, Bank Panic. This is one that, we're testing some, if you guys have seen, we're testing gun games. Gun games are working fabulous on Intellivision. I've been playing them for quite a while. This is my first pick for an updated game to utilize the light guns. I mean, it makes sense. It plays really well with a controller, but it really is a gun game, and I hope that gets done. Next one up for free, another free one, Lock and Chase 8K. Go download that. That's a great version. Really good version. Arctic Tales Enhanced Edition. Free ROM. And these are ROM packages. I think most of these are going to have all the artwork and the different things already in there. Goon Enough. This is a fun game as well. I mean, some of these are older games. Some are even newer. Go make an account, IntellivisionCollector.com. Add all these to your basket. Download the ROMs. Put them on your... what if you have a backbit, LTO flash, cuddle cart, PyRTO2, whatever you've got. I think most all of these are going to work on whatever, and start playing them. Can't beat free, and they're good games. Almost every single one of those I would have fun playing right now, so highly recommend it. All right, let me go back here. I don't have anything screen-wise to show you guys, but we've got a little bit of Intellivision Revolution news. If you guys have... Let me catch up on chat. Sorry, guys. I have been blabbing and not paying attention to you guys. I apologize. Oh man, I got to go way back here too. Sorry guys. It's been a long day, and the best part of why I've been stressed for a week is coming up. I know a lot of you already know, but everyone's saying hello to everyone. Was supposed to get more rain midweek here. Yes, maybe we will, maybe we won't. Not sure. Flew to North Carolina. Always on the road. Yes, Eric's on the road a lot. Eric and TJ going back and forth. Gonna try to catch up here. Rick says this week we're playing Atlantis and Beam Rider. Is there another game that has ended? I was trying to look and figure it out. I didn't see scores on anything newer than those two games, but maybe that's coming tonight or soon. Definitely next week I'll talk about any games that are finished and go over those scores as well. TJ says, smash that like button if you all have not. I would appreciate that, and thank you. It does send the video out to a lot more people if people are liking it. Thanks for the reminder. TJ says, get Casey some more subs and exposure. She gets to 10K. She? I don't think being in television only, I'm ever going to reach 10K, but I'd like to at least get to 3-4K, something like that. I think that's pretty much the height whenever all you do is in television. But, I'm happy as long as there's people watching and I'm putting out good information and letting you guys know what's out there. I'm happy. So Carlos says, I don't think Onion will work on the PyRTO. Okay, I'll have to test that because I do have all of them. I'm sure you know. I don't know if there's different versions, if it'll work on some or not the other. Yep, we are getting to that. 4 copies left. William says 4 copies of Paulista Avenue Redux. Initial run of 50 copies at special introductory price of $70 remain. And that is without shipping, guys. Obviously, we all know shipping is quite expensive, and there's collectors all over the world. So $70 is the introductory price. You are going to pay shipping based on your location. Sorry, I've been talking a lot. My throat's getting dry. Eric says, I think I need to get one of those modded DS devices. Yes, you do. That is the best way. In fact, I can show you because I've got several of them. Let me show you. These are all I'm working on I've got a couple of these modded already. I picked up several of them at PRGE. I picked up a few at other stores. I still need to fully load a couple of them, and then I'm going to do the same thing. My goal is to have those so I can play games on the go on the trip whenever we go to the Midwest Gaming Classic. Atlantis ends Thursday night. Okay, so Thursday. So next week I will have Atlantis scores in there. So you found the Holy Grail in Chicago. Not exactly, but we will talk about that. Jonas Ness says, I wish I could send my subscribers to you. You are rad. Thank you. I mean, I'm not about a number, but if people like Intellivision content, I love to have them here. There's not too many people that know or have more Intellivision items than me. There's a few we're all great. I'm not saying anything about that. I am a serious collector. That's pretty much how I got started on YouTube, being on other people's channels like DJC, Papa Pete, Go Game Go, being on Astro Smash Mondays. And I'm sitting back here with all of these games and a lot of hardware. I'm like, why don't I just go on and start showing people Intellivision? I came up with the idea of the show instead of just like making videos, kind of do a weekly show. It's been a lot of work, a lot of fun, keeps me in the loop. I try to do my best to keep you all in the loop. Yes, I as well. I have mine. I pre-ordered mine at PRGE in September. Mana Basic. Hey, I'm back. Glad to see it isn't over yet. Yeah, we actually still have a lot of show yet left for you guys. It's like that took a lot longer doing the top 10. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. For those of you who watched it, I hope you enjoyed it as well, having the discussion. But now we've got to do the rest of the show too. William says $20 USD for shipping, PayPal fees for most places. Brazil is more. We do have Elektronite news coming up, and I was going to talk about that, but we've kind of already got it. Cyrus says we need to get Chuck one of those DSs for his camping trips. That would be a heck of a lot easier, although I think he plays with the other people he's going camping with. I watched some of those videos, and it's not just him that's playing. Yes, I wanted Tutor Vision. I always did too. Mr. Baseman, good to see you. What's up? We're over halfway, but we had a fun top 10 part of the first show. We had a lot of guests on, and now it's just me. It's not as fun when it's just me. I always like having on guests, but I still got a lot of stuff to cover. So Elektronite news. We already pretty much talked about it. William himself of Elektronite was in here, and we did talk about it. I did want to show one thing, though. I got permission to show this. So I have to pop these up. In fact, one of these is going to be good. We'll show one of them. The other one's just part of it. Okay, let me bring this up. Oh, no. Stop screen. I'm going to have to bring that back up. There needs to be a better way. You can load up like 7 videos, but I can only have one browser window, at least as far as I know. All right, this is the very first copy of Paulista Avenue Redux. Very first copy that's complete. These are being made, and I can't wait to get my hands on them and show them off to you, everything that comes inside. But this is the very first copy. I love seeing stuff like this. He sent me a few other pictures and said, go ahead and show it off. So I love showing you guys these kinds of things. See it here first. We've all seen the game, but it's cool to see them actually being made. Where has Sean been? Haven't seen him in a while. I know. He's actually my best friend in this whole Intellivision world, and he hasn't been here the last few weeks. I mean, we all do it. To be honest, I wouldn't be watching videos every single week either if I wasn't the one doing the show. We all got family things, other things going on, vacations. I appreciate everyone whenever they can watch, if they watch. But yeah, he's usually here. Just the last few weeks, he hasn't been. Yes, it looks fantastic. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you want to buy a copy, let me bring that up. I always leave this one right here. Elektronite@hotmail.com. That is for pre-orders. You can email him and ask if he has other Elektronite games. I don't know if you heard me earlier, William. I know as far as I last heard, you would sell any ROMs if they've already been out there or for sale in the past. Let me know if that's not the case, but If he doesn't correct me, you can also email him. And if it's a ROM that you're looking for and it's already been released, he will sell you a ROM as well. All right. I'm monitoring right now. 4 copies of Par remain. 4 copies. 4 copies is the special price. If you want it a little cheaper and you know you're going to want the game, there's already talks of Game of the Year material here. Definitely, let me bring up that email just in case. I didn't realize I clicked it off. Elektronite@hotmail.com. If you miss it, you can rewind and write it down. Email and ask them. Tell them you want in on that. All right. I need to take it off there. All right. So I believe that was it. I've talked about Elektronite, Intellivision Revolution, and Intellivision Collector. Lots of cool stuff coming soon. And it's a lot of gaming goodness for Intellivision. Be on the lookout. I guarantee you I will have all of it. We will be talking about all of it. Okay. Here we got it from William. Yes, ROMs that have been sold in the past will continue to be sold. For all of you ROM guys, Cyrus, I hope you're listening. Email the same email that I just gave you. Ask him if whatever games you want from Elektronite, if they're available, he will sell them to you. It's a good price. You can also buy some of his back catalog. I know he's working on having so many of each game ready, and you can buy past games. Don't pay those premium eBay fees or people trying to scalp them on Facebook groups. Find out if it's available for regular price first. And right here, if it's Elektronite, you want to email elektronite@hotmail.com. William says we are out of shells, so the game will go unavailable for a couple months. It's not a marketing ploy. Oh, no, you only got so many materials, the top 50, so I guess there's 4 for a while. You're going to wait a few months and pay a little bit more money. Cost of materials is going up. The games have held at a certain price for a long time. I believe it's going up $5. Probably more than that in supplies. Cyrus says, I am listening. William Moeller is the man. Very cool, William. I know a lot of people are going to appreciate that. I hope they see it. I'll try to make a post about it as well, about the past catalog and the ROMs if they've been for sale before. We'll try to get some more of those sold for you. All right, so mail call. We're getting to the fun part. My fun part anyway. So let me switch on this over to mail call. So I've got a few things in Intellivision. I've got a ton of stuff. I went to a local game swap in Manteca, which is about 25 minutes away from me. Most of it is not in Intellivision. I did find, where is it? You can see it right there. So I got a boxed Intellivision for $15. He had $20 on it, and I honestly thought it was the freaking box. So down below, there was an Atari 4-port. There was an Intellivision, and there was a few other obscure kind of things. And it had like $20, $20, $10, $5. I'm thinking, these are just boxes. I said, what's going on with these down here? And I'm expecting to say, oh, they're boxes. And he's all, oh, those are old consoles. I know a lot of people don't, get anything that old, but, I brought them just in case. And I said, do they work? And he's all, yeah, I test them all. They all work. And I was like, I'll take all of them. And I said, what kind of deal will you give me? I know it's already a good deal, but these guys, they're just getting rid of stuff. They put the prices. It's kind of normal. The more you buy, the better deal most of them will give you. So I made a lot of purchases from this one. Cool thing was, this was a guy that was taking the time out. My son is 12. He goes along with me to most of these. He was enjoying walking around talking to these guys. And most of them are happy to chat with them. I mean, he's almost as tall as I am at 12 years old, but still, he's still a kid. And he loves retro games. He loves modern stuff too, but retro games he still loves. He loves talking to the guys every few minutes. Hey, Dad, can I have $5? Hey, Dad, can I have $10? Hey, Dad, can I have $3? A lot of times, like, he got 2 gifts. These guys will just give him something. Here, you like that? Take it. And he's always excited. He comes home with a bunch of stuff. Not as much as I did, but good amount of stuff. Anyway, when guys like that give to your son and sit there talking with him about things, I really like that. And I think it shows the character. So I went over and was trying to look, let's buy some stuff from this guy. If he has stuff I want, I'm going to buy some stuff from this guy. And that's whenever I looked down and found all those consoles. So, I mean, let me see if I can do this without screwing it up. There you see, it is an Intellivision console, complete in box. Doesn't have the styrofoam, but complete in box, working Intellivision console that cosmetically looks good, or $15. I got both of them for $30. The Atari 4-port, that's a really clean looking system. The box is there. One end is really rough, like the flap is actually taped on, but it's a working 4-port Atari in a box. Even though it's rough, I would buy 100 of those at $15. I was happy to have it. I came home with a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I'm going to show that tomorrow on the Retro Gamer. I wanted to show you the Intellivision, and I have a few other things I wanted to show you here. This is Mail Call. What the heck? There's a record in here. I wasn't expecting that. So I love paperwork. I know there's a few other collectors like C-Mart that and others that really do. So I found this ad, and it's a printed ad, and it has Atari 2600, Atari 5200, some Commodore VICs, Atari 800, 400, ColecoVision, and there's Intellivision in here as well. It's on, I don't think it's on the front, it's on the inside page. That's why I bought it, but I love this old paperwork, old ads. I don't see a year on this one. It says sale ends July 9th. Sometimes you find years. Now, this is something different. I have never got a record. This is Dean Martin, Houston. There was a record as a bonus gift in this package. Very cool. That was an eBay purchase. That's a first for me. I've never got a record. All right. I know these are going to be some pretty cool pieces, at least if you know what these are. Nowhere near the top dog of what I'm going to show you. Let me catch up on chat here. Hey, Casey, can I have $50? Sure, TJ. What are you going to give me? Sell me an Intellivision, Mr. Baseman. If you message me, I might be able to help you out. Eric, I know a guy that flies all over the place doesn't need $50. Need new channel of you and your son, Retro Pickers. That might work. He would actually, he wants to be on some of the videos, but there's no way in heck I'm doing a third channel. We might do a segment on one of the current channels, but no more channels. I was reluctant to start the Retro Gamer. I just want to be able to show off everything else retro. I need to play any television game soon. You do. I've been very impatiently waiting for that. I think I've still sent you some gifts from long ago and that you haven't played. But I would love to see any Intellivision, sir. I know you do lots of cool stuff, and that's why you have so many subs, somewhere around 7,000. Maybe you are already over 7,000. TJ plays it all, specializes in retro computers. He's one of the most exciting, fun people to watch. I love it when he cusses. Some people may not, but I think it's hilarious, and 7,000 other people say they love it too. Eric says, me too, about a bunch of them. Haven't had time to play many of them yet. I just seem to gravitate to my 8-bit computers. Oh, I agree. I love them. Just didn't have them as a kid. I'm a little bit younger than you. If I was nostalgic for them, believe me, I have some now. I would have a lot more. A noogie is what I'm going to give you. Baseman, Mr. Baseman says, awesome. All right. So what do we got here? We're showing you some cool stuff. I am so excited. I had several of these. I mean, not a bunch. There's not a bunch of these to get. Sorry if that's loud, guys. This was a 4-in-1 purchase. They're packed in a lot of bubble wrap. These are very cool, rare items. Current collection, I only had one. Now I'm going to have 5. There's a few more to get, and then I will have all known. These are prototypes. My buddy Sean, he packed them well. Not the buddy Sean we were talking about earlier. This is Sean McGrail, collector that goes way back. We both bought stuff from each other, knew about each other way back in the early 2000s. This is Beam Rider prototype. You can see it right there. Don't want to go too close. I love rare, obscure stuff like this. The only one I currently have is Pitfall. Intellivision dude will love that. But the only reason I have that is because way back in 2007 or so, I got married, and that was the first time, sadly to say. I got married. I had a whole house full of Intellivision stuff. I had an instant family, and I couldn't have all the stuff that I had. So I sold all the rare stuff, got married, spent a ton on the wedding, and the rest is history. But 4 years ago, TJ Ferreira, the guy in here, had a video that I happened to catch and intrigued me. I started looking around. This was an Amico thing at the time. And he did some great skit videos. And I started looking into Intellivision again. And I'm like, I'm not going to go crazy like I did last time. Let's just get some, box games and some good modded consoles and maybe a few things. Well, that didn't last long. I became an insane collector, picking up stuff faster than I did the first time. And now we've got everything you see behind me and much, much more. All of it thanks to TJ. Well, I still had thousands of commons and semi-common games. I still had about 50, 60 consoles at the time. I never sold that stuff because it took a lot of time for very little money, at least back in those days. Nowadays, retro is a lot more expensive, but back then it was cheap. So this is River Raid. And I don't know what's kind of different in these, but I'm going to do a video where I play all of my prototypes. Maybe we'll do one at a time. I got to see and look into it. It might not even be things we notice. Might just be things like bug fixes. I don't really know. Oh, come on. I thought I was going to get it out easier that time. Again, guys, sorry if this is loud. I'm trying not to be. This is the Dreadnought Factor. There we go. Some of you might have seen these on eBay and in the groups. I worked out a deal with my buddy Sean and was able to get all 4 of them. My wife's asking if I'm still going. I'm way later than normal. So here is Stampede, a game that we're playing this week on the Intellivision Invasion Facebook group. So let's look at them all together because that just looks way cooler. 4 prototypes, 1 purchase. 3 of these are super rare. One of them's pretty rare. I've got one. Where is it? Beep, right there. I get that little bit of yellow, if you can see right above my finger. That is Pitfall. That's my only other one so far. What do I got next here? Oh, yes. I don't know how I could forget about this. So a lot of you have seen already. I am so excited. I still feel like I am friggin' dreaming. I am dreaming. So I get a message from Dan Slobberlick. Slobberlick. That's an amazing last name. I'm not saying a word about it because I love this man. And we're going to get into this more. He's going to come on. I'm going to do a video for this topic. And he's already agreed to come on. We're going to talk about the whole story and go back and forth with all the details. But we're going to make it a short version here. Well, William, I need that. Send me a message, buddy. You've came to the right place. Says, hey, this is at my local Goodwill store. It's already higher than what I want to pay, so I'm out. I've seen a few of your videos, and I thought you might be interested. So I proceed to open this link, and my mouth, if you guys have ever seen the DJC jaw dropper shirt, I literally did that. I was like, no way. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And this, if you guys don't already know, is what the auction was for. This is a very rare, one of the rarest consoles in the world of all types, a Tudor Vision from World Book and Intellivision. It was a collab that never saw the light of day, but there are prototype units out there. This has better specs. I don't know all the details. We're going to get into that in a future video. We're going to have different guests on. We're going to talk about specs. We're going to show off the games. We're going to talk about the deal I made. We're going to have different, like I said, different guests on talking about different parts of it. We're going to go into the complete history of this. It's going to be a fun video to make. I'm going to give you guys a look at it again if you haven't already seen it. So cool. If you don't know what this is, it is probably the hardest to get item, regular item. There are some things like there's a briefcase out there that does repairs and different things. I'm not really sure what you call it. There's only a couple of those. This is the third known to exist of the Tudor Visions, and I cannot believe that I somehow got lucky. Dan sent me a message and just happened to see a few of my videos, and the rest is history. And there is a cart. And a lot of you guys have seen the link. I got this thing basically for a steal. I mean, it wasn't this cart, but a cart from the Tudor Vision sold for $2,000 something a while back on eBay just for a cart. So that's crazy to think of. So what I've been doing this last week is not sleeping very well, really stressed out. I had to watch that auction to the end, knowing what kind of value something like this could bring, especially if you even just had one more crazy, idiotic collector such as myself. I know what I was going to have to shell out for this thing, and I was really nervous. I'm like, please, nobody else see it. Nobody else see it. So the story, what happened was, it was spelled wrong. There was no Intellivision in the title, and Tudor Vision was spelled with a B in place of the V. So anyone that has those automated things on, or they weren't watching that week, nobody saw it. There was a couple people, because I paid a good amount still, what most people would call a good amount, but this thing is worth a fortune. It's super rare. I know there's 2 other people that have one. I do not know anyone that has one. I'm so excited to have it. I watched that auction till the end. My heart was beating 100 miles an hour. I've had some tense auctions where you're like, I really want this. I really want this. And, but nothing like this. So that auction was coming to an end, and it's on Goodwill, mind you. So it's not eBay where I'm accustomed to, or I just, do deals with other collectors, or Facebook. Hey, I want that. I'm somewhere I'm not accustomed to. I actually went and bid on something else just to check my account. I mean, it was a $10 item. If I win it, I win it. I wanted to make sure my account was working and I didn't get through the bid process and have it say like, oh, sorry, your account needs to be updated, or, you can't bid until you do this, or I didn't know. I wasn't taking any chances. This is like literally the find of a lifetime. So I bid on something, everything works. I had to refresh myself on how the bidding process works. Sometimes, you think you're bidding and there's one more confirm screen, or, I figured all that out. And whenever we got to the end, it was like, I can't let it get to like 3 seconds like I do with eBay. I don't want to miss this, but I don't want to give enough time to where when I bid, then they have time to see I bid and go higher, and then I lose it with no time to counter bid. So I was watching it on 2 devices, and one of them I was refresh. It got down below 10 seconds, and I just went. I'm like, by the time it goes through, they refresh and bid again and go through that process. I don't think they'll have time. Someone bid like, I don't know if it was like 6 seconds before me. They were probably ecstatic, showing that they were the high bidder. And my bid went in, 9 seconds to go. And I'm like waiting, refresh, and my heart's just going boom, 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 boom. I'm like, I was getting sweaty palms. I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking he's nuts, but I'm a serious collector, and this is a find of a lifetime. And I was so excited, and I wanted that thing to be mine. I'm not even going to say what number I put in there, but let's just say I'm so glad that nobody else put in that number. It ended, smoke cleared. I saw that I won. And I was like, I just yelled out. I was like, yeah, I was excited. And then I seen the number, and I'm like, oh, thank God. Because I put way more times over what that thing went for in my bid. I knew if it just one more person, let alone a few, saw what that was, that I probably wouldn't. I mean, there's people out there with a lot more money than me. I would have sold my Corvette to pay for that thing. That's how serious I was. I wanted this thing. So all the time of the auction, I was like nervous about it. I was stressing. Someone else is going to see it. And then once I got it and it was mine, I'm like, oh my God, what if somebody else sees this now and they, go to Goodwill and say, I'll give you this much more for it. So that happens. It's been done to me in the past. I've done it to people where something goes and you didn't see it, and you say, hey, I'm interested in that. I didn't see it, or, and people do it. So I'm like, this is a huge item. I'm like, somebody's going to try to steal this. And I don't know if they did, but it didn't work if they did. And then once I saw that thing was shipped, I told a couple people, my closest friends, and I told a couple people, my high-end collector buddies, once it was in the air. I don't usually like to tell people until I have it in hand, but it was driving me nuts. I could not hold it in, but I didn't want to tell the whole world, because what if something happened? The package, that's what I've been nervous about all week. It was supposed to come on Saturday, and I'm thinking, crap, what if it gets lost? Packages get lost. This is one you don't want to get lost. So I was so nervous the whole week. I was affecting my sleep, everything. And then I'm like, Saturday came and I refreshed in the morning and it said delayed until Monday. I'm like, no, don't start this stuff, please. This is 2 more days of stress. So I'm like, at least it'll be here in time to show it off for the show. And Sunday, it was like 20 minutes for me, maybe 25. I saw it landed at 1 in the morning and it was close by. I'm like, well, at least it's close. The odds now of it getting lost aren't the best. And Monday came, and of course it came at the very last of the window. I was literally at the window sitting there, like watching, making sure FedEx didn't go to one of my neighbors' houses, because I live in the country, and that happens out here. The GPS sometimes will tell you it's at the neighbors. Not all the time, but it happens. And I was not letting that happen. I would have ran over there. So finally, about the time, at the max time it said, I seen a white truck pull in. I was watching on the cameras, and I was up here getting ready for the show, and I freaking ran downstairs, went out there, and said, boy, oh boy, have I been waiting for you. And he's like, oh yeah? I was like, what is this? And so I just briefly told him, and he's not a game collector or anything, but he was still like, oh wow. And we talked a little bit, and then he goes, oh wait, I don't have the thing to release this. I'm all, what? And I wasn't kidding. I told him, well, I mean, I'm not being mean or threatening, but you're not leaving with that box. So it's like, and I laughed, and he looked at me and laughed, and I said, that's highly collectible. It's not getting out of my sight. And I said, call, do whatever you need to do, figure this out, but you will not get out that gate with that box, I can assure you. And I laughed again. I mean, I was serious, but I didn't want to seem like a psycho or anything. And so he called up, got all of it figured out. I was out there for like probably 10 minutes. It's freezing ass cold. It's early, and we've been having a lot of, not compared to a lot of you guys back east, but cold for us. And he goes, all right, we got it. And he hands it to me, and I'm like, yes. And then it dawns on me, what if they ship the wrong thing? Like, I have some regular console or some, other console, not even Intellivision, like they got them mixed up. So I go upstairs, I'm thinking I'm going to wait for the show, to open this thing. And I was telling the guys in a group text, I'm like, I can't wait. I'm like, I got to know if I have the real thing and it's in there and it's not damaged. I was like, so I did that video I put out earlier, like 3 minutes raw. You can see my emotions. And I had to see it. So then once I knew I had it in my hands, it was the right thing, I was like this big sigh of relief. And if you watch that video, you can see when I peeked in there and opened up the first part and I could tell that it was legit, I was just like, oh, yes, yes. And it went from zero, all the worry and weight on my shoulders went away. And I was just completely excited. No, there's more people with Amicos than this thing. This is the 3rd one known in the world. And I know way more than 3 people that have the Amico. All right, guys, let me catch up on chat. And so after I got it up here, I made that short, quick video, and I'm showing you guys tonight. It's all over Facebook groups, AtariAge, my channel. Getting ready for the show was hard because people are messaging me all day long, wanting to know, show me pictures, show inside, just wanting to know about the details, literally all day. When I turn my phone back on, there's probably going to be a lot more on there as well. Yeah, I know, because you don't collect, William. You did once. Super rare, super rare. Yeah, the color looks cool. Like I said, we're going to collaborate with a few different people. We're going to make one heck of a tutor vision video. Probably take a few weeks. We're going to have to do with different schedules. I'm going to have to learn a little bit more than I know. We'll have the story in there, everyone involved. But again, big thank you to Dan, who sent me the link, picked me, happened to see my videos. I did thank him a million times, and I'm going to send him a care package. I got to go through the homebrews that I have spares of, and I told him I will send him a couple homebrews, and I'm going to tell him what I've got and let him pick. I'm really thankful for him, and I would not have this if it was not for Dan. So again, Dan, if you're still in here or you're listening later, I really appreciate it. And very soon I will get a list to you, and you can pick out a couple homebrews, and I'm gladly going to send those things to you, buddy. Yeah, it was $8.90, and that was, the links are out there. I'm not, it's not like I could hide it if I want to, but that is a steal. Like I said, one of these carts went for $2,000 something on its own. I got one of the carts. I don't know what this one would go for, but I imagine it'd be up there, and the console for less than half what someone paid for the cart. If any other serious collector knew about it, it would be thousands and thousands of dollars, because I can tell you what I bid, and they would have paid dearly if they beat me. I mean, I'm not going to say what I bid, but it was a lot. Yeah, don't tell Casey's wife. She has a good idea, believe me. She's been up here. I have two vices like this: RC racing and game collecting. Yes, going back a little bit here. Sorry, guys, but all of it's TJ's fault, and I'm so grateful for him as well. TJ says, I think it looks neater than the OG unit. It is kind of different. I like it. I can't wait to, I know it's beefier than the regular one. I look forward to playing games on it. I do have a Tutor Pro, which is basically everything like this on the inside, but with the Super Pro shell. I might have a few more I haven't tested. But I'm definitely going to be doing some play testing. I've got all the ROMs for the TutorVision software, and we're going to be showing those off in that upcoming video as well. Like I said, this is going to be a pretty in-depth video. I mean, I'm not crazy good or doing all these very cool effects and things, but it's going to have a lot of information. I'm going to show off a lot. We're going to talk a lot about it. It's going to be a pretty cool video. Let me catch up here. Here's the question. Will it help with math? I don't know. I haven't really checked on all the software, but if you're not good at math, I don't think it's going to help you much. Eric says, I do love the look at that. They shipped well, but I also reached out to them, and I forgot about this part. I tried to get overnight shipping. I didn't want to wait. I tried to get overnight shipping. I said, I don't care what it costs. I would like overnight shipping if possible, but they wouldn't do it. But they said, I talked to them about it, said this is a really rare item. I would like to ensure that it arrives safely as shown. And Dan actually reached out to them as well. Like I said, this is his local Goodwill, and he put in some good words, and we'll go over all that whenever he comes on for the video. And it was well packed, multiple layers. The box was crushed. Forgot that as well. One side of it was all smashed in, but nothing was affected. Carlos says, if more people had TutorVisions, I would certainly make games for it, mainly because the expanded GRAM available. Yeah, there are a lot of people that have them. A lot of them just don't even know it. Super Pro consoles, there's a lot of them out there that are partial TutorVisions and full TutorVisions. So, and a lot of collectors have them. In fact, I paid pretty dearly, pretty close to what you would call the ballpark range of what I paid for this. Not quite, but definitely way more than half for a Tutor Pro, when I never thought something like this was going to be obtainable. I'm still feel like I'm dreaming, and I'm going to wake up and I'm coming out of surgery and I dreamed the whole thing. It just doesn't seem real. I'm so excited and grateful. William says, Casey got an extremely rare item for about 10% of what it could be sold. Definitely. And with a few crazy collectors such as myself, probably higher. Nope, less, but it would sell for way, way, way more. Carlos, speaking Spanish to Benville. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo te va? Michael Hayes, gotta play map mazes, shapes in space, and Little Man Computer. Also buy the Geographics ROM. I did buy that. I reached out to Alessandro. he purchased the one for 2,000 something. It was, a high-end auction. I don't know if I wasn't around then, or I did not see that, because I would have went for that as well. Probably good for both of us. Here is Daniel, the man. Thank you. Glad you won. I mean, I can't thank you enough. But I hope a couple homebrews will do a good job. I'll get you that list here shortly. I mean, probably tomorrow. I've got all my spares over to the side. Whatever you like, pick 2 of the list, and I'll get them on the way the next day. Benville says, Bien, Carlos. Did you check the inside? Not just a switch in there. Come on now. I know you're trying to push it, but... Michael, some of Deckel's work uses the extra GRAM. The Studio Vision games come to mind. I know I'm going to start collecting all the things that can utilize the Tutor Vision, and definitely all the software, like I said. I want the video to kind of contain everything. I think Michael would be a good one. You'd be a good one to have come on as well for a part of that video. Man of Basic, it's more than my net worth. Then again, the same can be said for a snack cake at the store. Benvril, if only someone could create the ultimate Intellivision controller. I don't mind the controllers. I think we need good replacements. We need to have USB that will work on other consoles that have the Intellivision games so people can play them the proper way. A lot of the games will work without the extra buttons, but there's a lot that you need it. Michael Hayes, Shapes in Space teaches fractions. Well, there you go. You can get a little bit of help. Des says, I'm too young for the Intellivision and didn't grow up with it, but I find your stories and collector journey fascinating. Continue to be enthusiastic and teach us about legacy systems. The funny thing is, I'm actually one of the young guys for Intellivision. I mean, I'm going to be 50 this year. I was 5 when it came out. There are a few collectors younger than me, but I don't think any of them started with Intellivision when it was new. They kind of came along a little after, but I'm pretty much the youngest you're going to find for serious collectors. Michael Hayes is younger than me. Maybe any Intellivision Plus from Atari should be Tutor Vision compatible. That would be sweet if they could do that. If you're going to make something like an Intellivision Plus, that would be awesome to have it run all the hardware. You could also, the homebrews, the guys like Carlos that want to make a little bit better homebrew games with different capabilities, that gives you lots of options. This might sound dumb, but is there a serial number? There is nothing on this one. I will show you the bottom of it. There are pictures out there. There was nothing on the bottom of this one. Whether or not this had a sticker at one time, I cannot say. I have not seen the bottom of the other two. Maybe someone in here like Michael has can let me know. I want to say at least one of the other ones I was told didn't have anything on the bottom as well. Michael Hayes says, I'm happy that one more Tutor Vision game was salvaged from the sands of time. Only 13 more to go. The ROMs are out there on a lot of these. That's going to have to work for a while. Oh, my wife's going to be pissed. We're already almost 3 hours in. I still got more to go. As long as you guys keep watching and I've got content, we're going to keep going. I don't mind. My throat hurts, so. Definitely Atari's Intellivision Plus unit needs to have Tutor Vision capability. That just gets that Intellivision Plus actually happening. I mean, that gets me really excited. So many people want something like that, a way to play on a modern console that's available to everyone, similar to the Atari 2600 and 7800, both of which I have, and I have 2 of both of them, one to save sealed and one to actually use. I would buy a ton of the Intellivision Plus consoles. I would go broke buying so many. I could guide you through Little Man Computer for sure. Definitely, Michael. We're going to have to work something out. As long as this video takes, I want it to be very thorough. It's a demo unit. The power cord is only a foot long. Oh, I haven't even unwound that. All right, so that is a Tutor Vision. That is the Homebrew Highlight. Or, sorry, the mail call. So now we go on to the other thing I just said, the Homebrew Highlight. So this is an Elektronite game. Let me go on to Homebrew Highlight here. Actually remembering all these again. So this was requested in the show 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't get the information while I was making it, and I had to skip it, but I did get it tonight. This is actually a sealed copy. I've never opened this one, so I need to open it so I can show it off. This is an Elektronite game. It is very good. I have only seen it, but I know a lot of people speak very highly of this game. There is the front of the box. Again, Elektronite. There is the back of the box. And opening games is something I never would have done if I wasn't on YouTube and wanting to show you guys. I was a sealed collector. If I wanted to play it, I would buy 2. And I've opened a lot of things since starting YouTube. All right, showed you the box. Here is the cart, the Pandora Incident. We've got a color manual. I'll show you inside a few pictures here. Oh, just dropped both overlays. There's the inside. And here is one of the overlays. I don't know. Okay. Map, save, load, inventory are the 1 through 4 buttons. You've got fire and commit on both sides. Looks like all the buttons are that. Then you've got pause, help, and quit for clear, 0, and enter. And I'll show it off to you in a second briefly. I'm not going to lie. I haven't played it. I don't know what to expect or how far I can show you, but these homebrew highlights are just supposed to be quick. Oh, got a little bit of buzz here. Okay. Oh, come on. My cord is putting pressure on that. All right. Get rid of Striker there. The Pandora Incident. Start, options, and credits. We'll do credits if it's something brief. A game by Team Pandora. Coding, shocking, Carlos Madruga. Arturo Ragazzini. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Graphics, Justin Cheer. Music, Adon Toledo. We talked about the music soundtracks earlier. William Moeller. Quality Assurance, Michael Bergeron. Orth, Steve Jones, Joe Zabisiak. Uh-oh. Come on. So you've got options, skill, easy and normal. Let's just go this way. 2, show the intro, yes and no. Fast text, yes, no. In-game music, yes, no. Let me catch up. Carlos says, I will leave you to Pandora. Good evening. Thanks for stopping in, Carlos. Always good to see you. Good night. See here, didn't miss anything. Rick says, isn't there another new controller type in testing that you're going to talk about? Yes. Well, not really slated to for tonight, but we can talk about anything you want. I have some things I can say and some things I can't, but there are controller adapters in the works. I've been testing them. I mean, I have nothing to do with making them, but I am helping buy controllers and things to test. Using them a lot, and they work great, and they're getting better and better. I can tell you that. It started out as mini adapters, and now there's like one adapter that'll do this, this, and this, another adapter that does this, this, and this, and it's a switch to a light gun. It is awesome. I bought a lot of 8-bit DOE wireless controllers for these consoles. They all have worked, so you can use original ones, you can use modern ones, you can use wired, wireless. They all work great. I'm getting off third shift after a week, so evening should work. Yes, I'll definitely be reaching out to you. I'll piece it together. We'll get keep getting people and recording videos, and then we'll piece it all together that way. Eric says, need to head to bed early for me. Super cool find, Casey. Can't wait to hear more about it. Thanks for watching, Eric. If you're still here, appreciate it as always. I think I'm fully caught up here. Funny to see the edges of the game screen clipped. Yeah. What am I clipping here? Let me take my name off. This is mainly for when other people are here. You guys know who I am. Where are we clipped? We shouldn't be. Oh, you're talking about the extra space. I try to just show the gameplay. So one, it's bigger. Two, you don't have those extra colors. Is that what you're talking about? Usually I'm supposed to go in beforehand because not all the games are done the same. And I don't want to cut off part of the game. But this one luckily is there. So Commander Ellen and Norbert, the ship's resident android, are discussing the event. Look at these graphics. This is amazing. I want to get to a little bit of the gameplay. Again, these are just supposed to be show it off, show some gameplay for a minute or so, and we will get into it deeper in depth for another day on the Homebrew Highlight gameplay videos. Probably going to have read some of this. Again, amazing graphics. I just shot. Nope, don't want to do that. Again, this is fun because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Here we go. Somebody's dead. Danger. Norbert, you won't believe. Norbert. Okay, I'm done returning to the shuttle now. If there's anything over here. Armory's locked. So you can see this is like a whole world on Intellivision. This is really impressive. I don't know what you guys think, but this game is awesome. Oh, Mike, I need help. I have no clue what to do. Mike says, I'm back. No highlight. I expect a full run through with the best ending. And a game that this is the first time I've ever turned it on. In fact, if you missed it, I just opened it. Carlos said, I got the only 110% ending because I got 100% with a broken controller on stream. This is the first time. I mean, I've seen it. I've watched you guys play it. But this is the first time. I open my copy right now and I'm go to the bridge, try to save the doctor. And how do you do that? We're not going to be able to do this on the map. That's not the help I wanted. Left. Get soda from that vending machine. I am thirsty. There's a lot of delay, Mike, as you know. Again, this is probably far enough. Just showing a little bit of the game. How do you do yes and no? Oh, here we go. We'll give it a few more seconds here. Yes. Leslie, what's going on? For an Intellivision game, this is amazing, and I've heard the gameplay is amazing. I cannot speak to that, but Mike's Gaming Gala can. I always hear great things about this game. It's on my list of things that I want to get into and play. Other elevator? Oh, jeez. Oh, wait. Does this open? Nope. What other elevator? I can't get in that. This? See right here, guys. And I can tell you, Mike gives honest reviews. Even if his best friend, if I made a game and he thought it sucked, he would tell everyone it sucked. Mike will tell you if it's good, if it's bad, if it's in the middle. If you want an honest review, definitely Mike will tell you how it is. Right here. Probably my favorite Intellivision game, period. As in this one. Oh my gosh, this is brutal. You guys got a good enough idea? That's what the Homebrew Highlight's about. I think it's amazing. I can't wait to get into this one. Now that I've opened it and have kind of got into it a little bit, I'm definitely going to start with my free time. Maybe one of these videos coming up here soon for the gameplay highlights. We'll get into this one. It's one of the new ones. I've got a lot of backlog, but this one looks pretty cool. All right. So that's going to do it for the Homebrew Highlight. We're almost done with the show. We are 3 hours and 6 minutes in. I cannot remember. I've been trying to keep them an hour and a half to 2 hours for so long. But, I mean, I'll be honest. Whenever I do a show like that top 10 with a bunch of different people, we should probably just do that and not a regular show. I just hate not talking about certain things. Dawn, we were talking about your CDs, your game soundtracks earlier. Here he is, the man behind them. We'll put the link in the description, but we did talk about him. I showed him off and talked about it a little bit. It told everyone how I had all of them, or at least I'm pretty sure I have all of them. And I already ordered the new ones. We all appreciate your work. You are a part of so many homebrew games. It takes a whole team. That's part of the reason why these homebrew games are as good as they are these days, because there's an entire team. You've got a really good music person, a really good programmer, a really good box guy, a really good guy that does manuals and overlays, and you got play testers, and you got guys that show them off so you know what to buy. I mean, it's a whole team, and the better you have each person, the better the game is, the more it's play tested, the more it's got everything worked out. I think it's pretty cool. So again, Adana, thank you. I always try to support everyone that's putting out things. I buy them all. I tell other people, show people what they are. If it's something they like, I tell them they should buy them as well. All right, let's see if I got anything else here. We already did the discussion. I don't think I'm missing anything. I think we're narrowing it down to the end, guys. We've got, as we talked about earlier, if you guys weren't here when we had the panel discussion, Mike's Gaming Gala and Phil Retro Bliss Gaming, they've got a show on tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. They simulcast, I don't know, whatever you call it. They're both on the same show. You can go to either channel and watch. I'm a guest on there now and then. These guys are really good. I always enjoy all the shows. So definitely give them a sub if you don't know about them already. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. PHX Cisco. Basically better than the 80s where stuff was slapped together. Yes. Back then, though, I mean, you had a lot of talent. These guys were told, we need this game and we need it in a month or whatever the time was. It wasn't like they could take years and have all these resources and just get it whenever it's done. So it's kind of hard to compare, but yeah. And the memory was super expensive back then. So they would say, you've got this much, make the game this. And that's what you could do. You try to get it in as fast as you could because time was money. Like Mike talked about on one of the podcasts, if you didn't hit that Christmas window, it was a difference between a really good seller and a mediocre seller. Timing, Christmas, that was when you had to do it. Adon says, hey, show the new Intellivision again. Okay, just for you, buddy. There you go. That is a rare Tudor Vision, the third one known to exist. I'm sure there are a few more. Whether or not they survived or they will ever be found, who knows? But this is it. I am so lucky to have this. You can see there's no sticker. I don't know if that's the way it was. Mine has no sticker on the bottom. It was tested working. I have not powered it on yet. I'm going to save all of that for a future video. We're going to get pretty detailed in that video. Here is the cart that came with mine. I would have been even more happy if it came with more carts, but I'm happy to have the one, to be honest. Sears catalog was a thing. Yes, I remember looking through that. I don't remember any other catalogs until much later, but the Sears catalog, I remember. Thing of beauty. Oh, man. Whenever I got my play cable, another really rare item. It's actually right behind me. I don't think you can see it. That way. Nope, we're not going to be able to see it. I've shown you guys. If anyone wants to see it, we can bring it out another time. When I got that at PRGE, that thing slept next to me. I said worse things about this one because now that I have that, the play cable seems like child's play. Can only think of maybe one system more rare. That's the Sega. I'm sure you're talking about that one, right, Mike? Is it modded? This one is not modded that I can tell. I don't think it would have been modded back then unless someone did. It doesn't look like anything's been done. Yes. Ah, the Nintendo PlayStation. Yeah, there is that Sega one as well. So there are some things that are super, super rare. This is one of them. And I cannot believe that I own one of them. Something that rare and cool. I've already been asked to bring it to PRGE for display. Honestly, don't know if I'm capable of that. I would be so... No, that's not super rare. I had that. Those things are... You can still get one. It's going to cost you a little bit, but there's a lot of those out there. I had that brand new as a kid. Bought it at Toys R Us. I do love that one. Mike, I can't think of the name of that rare Sega one that they always travel. I've seen it at PRGE several times. The Neptune. Yeah, Neptune. There it is, Neptune. And there's a prototype. I think that... Was there more than one of those? There might be a couple of those. But this Tudor Vision, the third one, super rare. It's up there on that level. And I cannot believe it's in my collection. Anyway, I've been asked to take it apart, document all pictures. We're probably going to do that for the video, and then I'll post them all after that. We're going to do a lot of game testing. I've got the ROMs. I've got the one cart. We're going to have people on and do interviews and talk. We're going to have Dan on that I got it from. We're going to do like an all big giant video, piece it all together, and we are going to have a very cool Tudor Vision video. Here's C-Mart. You can store that Tudor in my room at PRGE. That's not going to happen because I'll be sleeping with that thing. And I'm not sleeping in your room. I thought you were going to say it can stay in the underground layer. You can store it on my carry. Everything I buy is for you, Mike. We all know that. We've all seen that. Oh, that reminds me. I never made that short. We recorded that stuff, and I didn't make it. I definitely won't leave without you. On its way to the underground layer. I would actually, one of these days, I got to be there too. We've talked about it a few times. I would definitely love to check that out. This year, I've got my wife's birthday on that Sunday, and I'm not able to do it. I'm thinking the following year will be good. I'll take a few extra days because the following year, I jump up 2 extra weeks in vacation. So I will take off. I'll have to get a passport, yes, and I'll take off early, come up, check out the underground layer, and then we can all drive back to PRGE. All right, guys. I think that's it. We've got DJC shows. These guys already talked about everything they're doing. Astro Smashed show is on Wednesdays. We got Phil and Mike's show. You can watch it on either one. Papa Pete and Go Game Go Jeff, they're going to do something tomorrow. It's going to be 5 o'clock. I haven't seen what Pete's doing yet. Sometimes it's Intellivision. Sometimes it's, he does a lot of other things as well. That's all I've got listed. Let me finalize with chat and we'll call it a good night. I am starving. I have not ate yet. It is 8:18 here. We are 3 hours, 15 minutes in. Woo! Careful bringing that Tudor Vision over the border. Might get tariffed. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Be like, I brought it from home. Look at these videos. That's my house. You mean just for bringing it over? Or because they'll say it was from there that I bought it or something? Yeah, passport. I need to do that anyway. Definitely got to do that soon. Got go on a cruise here in the next year or so. I need something. Might as well get the full deal. Just being topical. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. We had a good number of people watching. The first half was a lot of fun with all the guests. Again, I can't thank them enough for taking time. We'll do something like that again. We had the rest of the show, got to show you some cool prototypes, got to show you Tudor Vision. I feel like I'm going to wake up and it was all a dream. That's how on top of the world, Cloud 9 I am about that. What's next? I need to get a keyboard component. I need to maybe find that suitcase. That may be unobtainable. Certain collectors just are never going to sell things, no matter what you throw at them. I need a few other variants, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, after that, it'll just be on the rare occasion when a variant of a game comes up that I need. I'll go after that, but I'm getting close. There are some things pretty much unobtainable, but I thought this was unobtainable. Maybe I'll get lucky again. All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. If you're new here, please consider subbing. I do put out Intellivision content every week, and I'm pretty much in the know for all things Intellivision. Next week, what was it next week? Homebrew Highlight gameplay show. So we're going to play some of the previous Homebrew highlights. We're also going to have some news, mail call, and another Homebrew highlight. So until then, good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Rise up, get ready for the fight. The Intellivision gamer, shining so bright. Reviews and gameplay, he's got it all from classics to new. He stands tall, interviews and insights. He's on a mission, unleashing the power of retro intuition. He's got the knowledge, the passion untamed. IntelliRock burning with the flame. Use his stage, subscribers unite. Intellivision gamer, he brings the light with the game console. He's making history, rocking the world with your nostalgia spring.